Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry, pushing back the tears. Should take a leap of faith and face my fear. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out, but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Like a volcano. Blow it up like a volcano. What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you're setting free? What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you're setting free? Blow it up like a volcano.
Got drunk off your life, and I lost myself again. You hit just like a drug. This time I won't let you in. You're playing with fire. No, I didn't numb the bread, but this time I won't collapse like I did yesterday. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give it, I can't give it, I won't give it this time. You broke my heart once again. Well, you're bad, but you're bad for me. I can't give it, I can't give it. I've already run with the wolves, far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you, I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side, I don't know. So if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you. I'm stronger, I'm stronger, I'm stronger today. encima para enloquecerme, pero voy a draw the line, que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. Sé que como un trofeo quieres tenerme, pero I don't need no one, que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. No, 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 baby, no, 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 no setbacks. No, 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 baby, no, 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 this time. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give it, I can't give it, I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. Well, you bad, but you bad it for me. I can't give in, I can't give in. I've already run with the wolves, far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you, I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side of the moon, so if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you. I'm stronger, I'm stronger, I'm stronger today. I'm stronger today. There you were on the other side of the room. The place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. The crowd, it grew so loud. You and I didn't even care. I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear. I've loved you since I met you. Did I ever tell you that? I tried to push you out, you pull in. I fell hard so fast. There you were on the other side of the room. The place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. The crowd, it grew so loud. You and I didn't even care. I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear. I've loved you since I met you. Did I ever tell you that? I tried to push you out, you pull in. I fell hard so fast. There you were on the other side of the room. The place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through.
Alright, hello and welcome back to another presentation of the NACE Star League. Yeah, I'm actually still kind of waiting for confirmation that we are this NACE Star League, but I believe that I can say that we are. Let's double check that while I'm in Dota. We are a little bit delayed starting up this game. UCSD versus MSU is what you're tuning into. Hopefully that was made pretty apparent, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. Yes, we are officially the NACE Star League, so a little peek behind the curtain into the organization says that we have remained under the Star League umbrella. Anyway, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Cool Hands, and got another exciting game coming up for you. UCSD versus MSU. Talked a little bit earlier in the week during some of the previous broadcasts that MSU is one of the few teams that we haven't actually gotten to see on stream or just in game, as their week 1 game was rescheduled to the 29th of February, so still waiting for that one. This is going to wrap up our week number 2 and not quite wrap it up, but technically. And what I mean by that is we will still have one more matchup upcoming in week 2, but that one's going to be pushed till next Thursday. That is the 22nd, with UMN taking on the University of Toronto Boundless squad. So what that means for us is we're not going to have the most up-to-date scoreboard, and things going to be a little bit muddied as we get through the early weeks of the season, just because reschedules during the regular season, while the weeks are kind of scheduled to play out week by week, there is that flexibility for teams to reschedule further into the future than maybe one would expect. So a little bit less cohesive, but do keep in mind that all of these games will be played and be bringing you those results as they come in, and probably be covering a large chunk of those games as well. So don't worry about a thing there. We will have games, we will have content for you. Today's game though, UCSD versus MSU. MSU last season the only team to take down Georgia Tech, but not too sure how much that really has going for them. They took them down by technicality. Sorry, things in the lobby just going a little bit wonky as MSU still yet to arrive. Looks like they are pulled up into the game, but haven't hopped into the lobby yet, so about 10 minutes late at the moment. But regardless, we are working through the kinks, and we'll have the game upcoming for you shortly. Still, MSU, like I said, the only team to take down Georgia Tech last season. They did that on a technicality. That was reschedule gone wrong, I believe, is what happened. There was some actual drama. It was the most drama piece of last season, I believe, as something, there was a reschedule, and MSU were able to claim a forfeit loss off Georgia Tech when their full roster wasn't ready to go at like 15 minutes past the start time. Georgia Tech, I think, were saying that they would be ready at like 18 minutes past the start time, and yeah, some hurt feelings, some bad vibes coming off of that game from last season, and gonna be looking forward to seeing a potential revenge match coming up. Unfortunately, MSU and Georgia Tech gonna be in separate divisions this season, so gonna have to hold off on that match until the playoffs or beyond. And then going into now, we have seen UCSD play a match this season. We did see them take down the Broncos 2-0, who were slated for last night's coverage as well, but ended up forfeiting there. So Broncos down to 0-2, and UCSD very convincingly took that series. Did see that one on stream last week. Looks like the lobby is getting set up, so we will have a game. We'll have a game to bring to you tonight, unlike last night. I mean, it's kind of annoying to me the way that this league can pan out with the last minute reschedules, the last minute cancellations, but there's not too much to be done about it outside of making things a whole lot more formal, and that does conflict with you know, scheduling and getting everything to work in a collegiate scene when Dota isn't that big of a priority, I think, in most people's minds. Still, you can tell I'm a little bit distracted trying to get the lobby set up and monitoring everything here, as we are very close to having the game get underway, and I'm excited to see these two teams match up. I think UCSD are the stronger team. They're going to be the team to watch out for, and we've seen their roster play. We've seen them play very cohesive Dota. They're a pretty disciplined team as well. And we saw a very nice approach from them week 1, of just making sure that once they had their fingers on the pulse, once they were ahead in games, they were playing very well together and making sure that they didn't allow opponent team into the game at all. Trying to get the game moving on time. We are now 14 minutes past the start date, so a little bit of frustration coming through the players, and I have to wonder if it's not a maybe a tactic. Looks like the lobby is breaking a little bit. Yeah, ticket issues, as we would expect the first week that it is available. Sorry, it looks like I might have to jump in and do some of the lobby setup if we have to. So, one of those things that hopefully we do get sorted out. I'm a little bit worried this game's going to start without it, just because UCSD's been ready and kind of chomping at the bit to go. So I have a feeling this is going to get just sent through, which would not be my favorite thing in the world, but it would be understandable. Let me throw us over to a very quick break while I figure out the lobby, and we'll be back with you in about 2 to 3 minutes. Just bear with us. We'll be back.
Just begun. 'Cause if you think that loving someone else could ease your mind, let me just remind you, dear, of all the hills we've climbed, and I don't mind being right, even when we get it wrong. No, and I said, hey, we don't need to leave all the differences aside. You and I feel right. Differences aside, 'cause that's what makes it right. I'm nothing like you, and you're nothing like me. We agree, and that's what makes it right. I'm nothing like you, and you're nothing like me. Opposite sides, and that's what makes it right. That's what makes it right. That's what makes it right. It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be it's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing, all or nothing. it's like the playing cards close to my chest. Turn them round for the river and hope it's something that I won't regret. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing.
Alright, sorry about that. We're now underway. Everything's squared away. It's fine. Ticket problems are ticket problems are ticket problems. But we are underway. We've got the draft going. The lobby's created. Everything is successful. It's just one of those sticking points for me because without the ticket, we kind of do lose some of the stats of the game. Don't get easily recorded. And something that later on in the season I think is very fun to look at and to dive into a little bit just to see how teams are doing outside of the typical... you know, win-loss, and that's it, kind of statistics to give you. So I did see come through while we were tossing over into the draft, the question come through what I will be casting on Wednesday, and that is a good question because I haven't quite looked into it yet. So taking a quick look through, doesn't look like any games have been rescheduled just yet, which means that anything that I say now is going to be very tentative in terms of scheduling, just because I know that half of these games are going to be moved around. So our schedule is looking like Georgia Tech, Conestoga. Actually, let me see if I can't add in a quick little window capture here.
10 seconds remaining.
Or I can actually just add in a quick screen capture. Why not? Just to show you guys the upcoming schedule here. So here we go. Here's our little schedule. Toss that up over top of me. So next week, we're looking at Georgia Tech versus Conestoga. We're looking at Indiana versus RIT, USF versus Brown, and University of Toronto versus Columbia. And then the late window, got Seneca UBC, we have Michigan UCSD, MSU versus CPP, and we have Toronto Benchwarmers UCLA. Games that jump out to me here, a couple things that we might want to look at. We might want to look at Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech, it's always hard to watch their games sometimes just because of the potential for some quick 2-0s, so maybe go ahead and take a look at USF Brown. That actually might be a fun match to take a look at in the early window. And then hop into the late window and take... spread the love around a little bit. Maybe Toronto versus UCLA could be a fun match to do as well in the late window. Of course, we'll be handling more of the games off the replays, and as time kind of draws nearer, we'll have a better picture of the reschedules that come through. So do let me know, if there's any games that we particularly want to see. I'd imagine that a lot of them will be shifted around, and we'll be watching them at some odd hours of the week like we were doing this week. Actually got to most of them this week, which is surprising and nice. But I think that's going to be my baseline plan, unless anything comes up, is USF Brown in the early slot, and then jumping in immediately to Toronto UCLA in the late window. And we can go ahead and work from there. So I think that's what we'll go with. Oops, sorry about that. Can get rid of that one for us now. MSU beat Georgia Tech fair and square. I mean, MSU absolutely did beat Georgia Tech fair and square. How much kicking and screaming there was associated is maybe a different story, but from what I can tell, rules-wise, was absolutely above board. And it ended up being significant, if I remember, for MSU to actually, like, it had playoff implications for them, because the game was at the end of the season. I'm trying to remember it. I'm trying to, you know, scan my memory back a week to when I was taking a look at this, but I believe it's the game that actually put MSU over the edge to making the playoffs, because they had lost to Brown, they lost to Columbia, they lost to USF, and a loss to Georgia Tech would have put them at 2-4. And I believe, if I remember correctly, 2-4 would have knocked them out of the playoffs. So, you know, not only were MSU like well within their bounds of claiming it, but it actually would have been pretty detrimental, especially because Georgia Tech, you know, going on to win the entire playoffs. Not to say that they would have won, but were the heavy favorites to win that matchup as well. So I think the only kind of downside to that match, and it kind of demonstrates the shortcomings of this league, is without having admins in the lobby, without having that official presence, a lot of the communication was coming from screenshots and from after the fact, which is what made things stick in some people's craw. And there's not an easy way to solve that problem other than having people sit around in an empty lobby for, you know, 30-45 minutes, or to put an admin in each of the lobbies, which neither thing is really that feasible for NACE, at least prior to last season, or prior to this season, I should say. Going forward, I hope that we do get some of that squared away and straightened out, and have the administrative side of the league run a little bit more smoothly, but a lot of that is out of not only the players' control, but out of, you know, my control, and to some extent the league control as well. As the NACE games are kind of controlled in aggregate across all of the titles, not just Dota and not just the open leagues, but it's kind of run as this discoordinated collective unit of, you know, video games in general, and you can see a lot of that with the rulebooks not necessarily being the most applicable to every game scenario. So I think it's one of those things we do just have to deal with. Into the draft here, as we've gotten quite late while we were dealing with scheduling. UCSD, Techies, Dragon Knight, Phoenix, Troll. And the Techies Dragon Knight lane, you know, potentially is going to be relatively scary, though more likely it's going to be a Techies Troll lane. But as always, Techies providing lots of that magic burst damage. Is actually a pretty strong laner coming out of the position 5 role nowadays. And just annoying to play with, and memory serves, UCSD do like to pick up this Techies early on in their drafts. It's a pretty comfortable hero for them. Across the river, MSU. Early pick on Enchantress, and this is a hero that we've not been seeing too often, but one of those heroes that always is just super annoying, between the healing coming out from the spirits, between the untouchables, attack speed slow. I mean, Ench is just always able to buy your team so much space. And in a meta where Dragon Knight is one of those, you know, premier heroes, Ench being that annoying frontline that doesn't have the huge ball of HP, but is able to take over the Dragon Knight illusions, is able to stand her ground, even in the support role, makes a lot of sense to early phase this hero. The rest of their lineup, they did pick the early phase Sand King. They were talking pre-game about picking Sand King, actually, MSU, while they were in the lobby, so maybe UCSD taking that on as a challenge, not going to ban it out, or maybe just, you know, straight up not respecting the Sand King potential coming out from Mississippi State. But a rather telegraphed pick, nonetheless. Still, UCSD gonna have heroes that are willing to fight inside of the Sandstorm. Phoenix, the Supernova, is gonna be able to, you know, potentially zone Sand King out of zone Sandstorm. One of the few heroes, actually, that is able to zone Sand King out of the Sandstorm, as Sand King really does exist to be an area denial hero, and, you know, Phoenix kind of just does that job but better when you pop the egg. UCSD with the last pick, Zeus, adding some magic damage to their draft. And shouldn't be too reliant on magic damage. Dragon Knight a little bit heavy on it as well, but between the troll and the dragon, they should be able to have enough physical burst. Even with mage slayers likely to come out from whoever MSU take into their mid. See who they are able to get here. Could look for a Storm Spirit here, actually. Kind of fits with their idea of Grimstroke's Sand King. They'll be able to find some jumps. Oh, and they're going to go for Tiny mid, so another jump hero, another look for the backlines hero. Still a little bit worried that you might not be able to deal with Phoenix on Tiny. You need to find him during that first burst in the Avatos, and nowadays Phoenix does end up pretty tanky, so looks like the egg might always get off, and at that point, what are you looking at? It's really just Juggernaut able to hit into the egg, so Courier 6 looks like as long as he positions himself decently well this game, he's going to have pretty free reign to play with his entire kit for the whole game, which is kind of the dream game you could be asking for as Phoenix, is every egg is going to get off, and you'll be able to have so much impact out of this position 4 slot. I believe Courier 6 does play 4, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it should be Poreless and taking the techies up to the 5 and rolling from there. Nothing too surprising coming out from either draft, so a nice close. I'm a little bit worried about the Tiny's lane as well into Zeus, but should be able to kind of hold his own and can always fall back to the jungle as well. And decent lane push later on, so Zeus not just going to be able to shove into the tower perpetually. Tiny going to be able to deal with that, so most likely going to be able to dodge the majority of the pressure coming out from the lane. We are about to get underway into the game. Looks like everything sorted out well, and we can hop over to the game. MS State, at least one MSU player has the tagline in front of their name. A couple of them. It's rare talent chilling back in the fountain. The UCSD side getting ready to get out on the map as well. Neither team too quick to get out to a rune spot. And it's actually, you know, kind of a break from what we've been seeing recently in the lots of early game smokes, lots of early game rune control. But not this game. This thing's gonna be calm before the horn. A little bit of motion between the lanes, but nothing major coming through. I say as space. A little bit of an aggressive walk up forward, but not gonna run into anybody. Probably lucky for him there, as could have had a bit of trouble. A little bit of a 3-on-3 engagement can be found, but runes go 2 for 2, and it looks like after a little bit of trading of the paint, everything will settle down. Heroes will make their way down to their respective lanes. Giant Rat getting a little bit abused as he makes his way to lane, but is on his signature Sand King. And we'll see what work he can put in on this hero. As I said, MSU, they were talking about it pregame. They were flexing the power of Giant Rat's Sand King. But look at Porlison just zoning both of the MSU heroes away from this lane. Giant Rat not able to approach the creeps. And nice Frog having an absolute free time down here early on. Lots of damage going their way, so UCSD gonna have a pretty fun time in the bot lane, at least so far. Looking over to the mid, Zeus able to grab an early lead through the CS, and Amatsu not quite in trouble, but not having a very good time through this first wave, able to get that level 2, and now gonna need to start to be a little bit more aggressive. The ball is far away for Tiny as well. He's not gonna have the extra HP to work on. I suppose Mr. Ink out of mana as well, and with the bottle not being delivered for him either, things are a bit awkward in this mid lane for each side. And down bottom, first blood comes through as Portland hit the level 2. Found the blast off angle and comes with a full wave, or kind of a double wave, coming underneath the tower for Giant Rat. Still level 1 on the Sand King. UCSD looking for some of these range creep denies as well, and absolutely punishing this bot lane of MSU. Take a look up top, the only lane we haven't touched in on so far in this game. Space farming up. Double lift also struggling up here, just 3 and 2. 8 and 1 for space, make that 9 for 1. Is double lift just not finding the CS up here? It is early, but double wave pushing in for them as well, and you do need to be careful not to let the pressure overwhelm them in these side lanes. As UCSD so far doing a pretty phenomenal job getting the creeps exactly where they want them. Both of the side lanes. So we head back over to the mid, both heroes build back up, and Tiny not able to capitalize any pressure while Zeus was low mana before the bottle came through, and things only going to get rougher before they get better for Amatsu. As Mr. Ink going to continue to have his way with Tiny until Tiny's ready to put a couple extra points into the tree grab and head over to the jungle. But simply not going to be sustainable standing inside of the creep wave. Back up top, Marin looking for the courier, but not going to be able to find it there. And finally able to buy some space for double lift to play his game, and catching up nicely in the CS. All is returning to normal across this top lane, so
Denied.
UCSD up here not able to capitalize on very strong first couple of waves, so things will even themselves back out. Always have to keep our eyes down bottom as Portland again. He's going to be looking for that second kill in this lane and finds it onto Giant Rat with the blast off coming through. Rear attempt was looking for the Inkswell setup, but not able to find it. And trading toe-to-toe with Portland, he's losing this one as well. So you can see just why this techie's first picked up for UCSD and absolutely putting in work in this bot side. Courier 6 stunned up by the Centaur. Will be taken down, so MSU gets on the board 2-1 here, 4.5 minutes. Nice kill for Juggernaut there as well. Phoenix not easy to find, by the way. There's no stun in this lane, so double lift and Murren not gonna have the easiest time canceling out any Icarus dive. But we're able to find the kill there and see the early rotation coming from Amatsu. Looking to catch back up in his lane by any means necessary. Unfortunately, pinged out and gonna have to waddle his way back down to the mid. Board dropped as well in case they needed it from Courier 6. And Amatsu not losing too much in terms of the creep wave, but a bit of time, and never a good feeling when you're behind on mid. You're looking for the rotation to get you back involved. And instead, it's a big fat whiff. Well, meanwhile, down bottom, looks like Portland set up yet another kill with the blast off. Makes that 3 kills for the spot side of UCSD. No signs of slowing down for him either, as they'll just wait for Portland's spells to come back off cooldown and they'll run at it again.
Radiant are scanning.
MSU on this top side still holding on to some decent regen, and double lift has the healing ward to work with as well. Gonna try the level 2 spin out, coming through onto space. Starting to take some damage. The Dragon Tail dumped over onto the spin with the TP rotation from Mr. Ink. Gonna save his buddy and even able to use that level 6. to find the kill. Looked like some extra damage coming through, but Mr. Ink absolutely will take it as Jug just melts. And so close to finding the kill as well. So close to finding the kill on the Dragon Knight, but instead gonna be the one that gets punished. Mr. Ink gonna be extremely happy too. That was the arcane rune used during the Thunder God's Wrath duration, so gonna have that one available sooner than normal, and gonna look to make something happen in 45 seconds when it comes online yet again. So 4-1 here as 7-minute runes did spawn. They did end up going 1-for-1, but Porlison wants to find the look onto Giant Rat. Giant Rat, though, gonna road forward with the Burrow Strike. Sandstorm just on the edge is gonna find the return kill. So gonna go 1-for-1 in Amatsu with the TP. Each mid finding themselves on the board, killing off enemy carry.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's nice trades coming through for MSU there. You can see just how impactful that was early going. About an 800 gold swing. Killing off those 2 bot lane heroes, both of whom had been involved in a large number of kills. Namatsu even able to run back to the mid in order to catch up to the wave. Unfortunately, not putting himself in the best position to secure the rune. But Mr. Ink gonna lose the 50-50, and with Murren's rotation down, will find it for himself anyway. See another early rotation coming through. Mr. Ink running his way down to the bot side, has the Thunder God's Wrath available again. Looking for the connection. Thunder God's Wrath going to be used up top as the dive was coming through space. Looking for the angle, but instead just has to get out from underneath the tower. Rare talent. Not able to stun him up. No mana to work with.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
MSU get off. Get away with a couple of scratches, but nothing major coming through. Another missed rotation for Mr. Ink, so ends up setting things up to be pretty even in this mid lane, as very similar on the missed and made rotations for him, each of them with a successful TP rotation and a missed running down the river rotation. So 5-3, about a 1,000 gold lead for UCSD coming out of these lanes, and starting to break apart a little bit. Murren just level 5, so no untouchable available yet. Gonna try with the healing sprites. Healing through a lot of the damage. Eventually the last right click comes through from Techies, but both mid laners in on the engagement here. Porlison gonna go down to the toss, and Amatsu looking for the kill forward, and not even gonna need to throw the tree, as a little bit of extra tick damage coming in from the Spirit, and Amatsu gonna be able to get away as well. So ends up being a 2-for-2. All the supports go down across the map, and both mid laners show up to get involved. Amatsu have a toss combo, and starting to whittle down towards Mr. Ink, but raindrops are there. He'll get the bottle refill from Porlison as well. Bottle refill across the mark, and a very symmetrical game, I'd say. Second avalanche comes through, rune spawns in the bot side, but Mr. Ink in a lot of trouble. Toss back. Porlison trying with what he can, but the blast off not going to save his buddy. Mr. Ink does eventually go down, and now Murren could be in some trouble. Starting to take some magic damage. Sunray over the top, doing what they can. One last right click does come through from Porlison. Amatsu trying with the avalanche, but the toss wasn't quite there to toss him underneath the tower. One more right click will do it in the mines. Not enough, though. Amatsu took a bunch of damage, did fall low. Giant Rat actually making the rotation to mid as well. He wants in on this party, but just going to end up securing the haste rune for his mid Tiny. So as long as things have officially calmed down in the mid here, I do want to take a check-in on bottom, as it looks like in the midst of the chaos, Giant Rat really started to get shut down. 3,200 net worth to his name, as hold that thought. Tiny in on the haste rune up top, looking for space, but used up all the stuns. Not gonna have the damage, and nice reaction TP there from space.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Back to it, yeah, Giant Rat falling a little bit behind in terms of the net worth. 3 points in the Sandstorm, but wasn't able to abuse the troll, even though he is melee range. Porlison really doing work in this bot side to set up that early lane. And Nice Frog, Maelstrom complete, gonna work for the Mjolnir, top net worth, around 6k here at 11 and a half minutes. And gonna be pretty happy with where he's at in this game. Level 9 as well on him, so not too much threat here. Now on the bright side, as long as Porlison isn't down here anymore, Giant Rat should be able to find some farm, and we did see him stacking up some Ancients for himself as well, so gonna look to take that with the Sandstorm, I presume. Has the Veil ready as well. Try and stack it up again. Is he gonna get it? Looks like the answer is no. Up top, 12-minute rune, and another nice rotation from MSU. Find the kill onto Mr. Ink, grab the rune as well for Amatsu. That's the Blink Dagger on Tiny, actually. Must have missed that one coming out. But Mr. Ink definitely didn't miss it, as he went down to it. He's not going to be too happy about that one. A couple of extra deaths tossed over his way. Double lift can do nothing as his tower goes down in front of his eyes. So 8-8 here, 12 and a half minutes in. Relatively even game. As we will see the pause come through. Just another second needed, and we will get moving. Ooh, oh no, what have I done? There we go, all is well, and it looks like things are ready at the same time. So, back underway, and just a quick break needed. You know, I really shouldn't say it, because it's going to be a nightmare, and it's going to happen at some point, but in all my time casting Nace, we're yet to have one of these really long pauses where something's breaking. I have had one experience, Zamatsu with the Blink, looking for Porlison. Needs another couple of clicks, not quite going to find it. Rare Talent, looking for the nukes across, but not enough damage there either, so just able to escape with his life. But I have, playing in Nace, had one situation with some extreme amount of pausing, and there was some controversy there with whether the winners of the game would have to be changed, but in all my time casting Nace, I've not actually seen it come through. So what that means is today we're going to see a really long pause, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Still, who cares if you got a long pause? Nothing else going on tonight, right? 8-8, 14 minutes in. MSU very much holding their own, despite having not the best time in lanes. They were able to recover pretty nicely here in this early mid-game. Giant Rat is catching back up, and after these Ancients might just have enough gold for his Blink Dagger. It's going to be pretty close after taking the big ones here. In 1950. So going to be a little bit short, but closing in on that Blink relatively quickly, and caught right up to where Space's farm is at. Mage Slayer online for him. So he starts to work on the Ancients of his own, but do see the smoke rotation coming through. MSU looking to make some more plays with this Blink Tiny. They're headed down for the value kill. Actually going to pop the mine, so Nice Frog gonna know that he needs to get the hell out of here. And Murren gonna pop the smoke first. Not the hero you really want to find that smoke break on. So Matsu still under smoke. Gonna be forced back a bit, and Porlison hanging around underneath the tower, but no real desire to jump onto techies either. So MSU just gonna have to make their way back and maybe start to defend this mid tower as the team gonna TP in. Matsu. Blink Dagger up, was thinking about it, and Giant Rat with the Blink as well. Looking for the angle, but UCSD playing the map very nicely. Poke forward and move back before you get too out of position there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Watch double lift TP out of the top side, grabs the Wisdom Rune, and Maelstrom for him as well, but about 2,000 gold behind the troll. Continues to farm at a very nice pace. Nice Frog with the Mjolnir up. Gonna be headed towards the BKB, and with the BKB online, it's gonna be hard for MSU to find the damage onto troll. A lot of magic damage coming through, and between the BKBs, between the Mage Slayer picked up onto space as well. Gonna struggle to find the damage, I think. Yeah, next rotation, next smoke up, gonna be pretty important, I think, for MSU, as we do see them smoked up as 3. The Matsu hanging out in the mid lane. But this is a pretty important rotation here for them to find a kill, because otherwise they're starting to get squeezed, and the magic damage doesn't last forever. Giant Rat looking for the epicenter channel up. They've got him chain stun for a while, and the silence comes through. Still Troll able to get the ult off, and now Giant Rat forced to run. The TP's coming in behind. Nice Frog able to get out of this one. It's gonna be Porlison dying to jug on the backside, and he'll be able to use the spin to get away. Just barely able to escape on the troll there. The gap between the silence. Enough time for him to get the battle trance off. See if we can't check that one out on a replay. If I just missed it.
Radiant's middle tower.
But able to run away, and the Omni Slash comes through on the back end. Unfortunate, but nice Frog. He did a good job. I mean, he killed off the Spirit in order to make that work. And it's a play that isn't always the first one in people's minds to hit the Spirit when you're in the middle of a sandstorm, when you're taking a lot of damage. Some people, you know, might think to run away instead, and knew exactly what it needed to do, kept a calm head, and killed off the Spirit, make sure the battle trance gets off, able to turn around the fight with the TPs from the team. Nine to 9 is UCSD. Open up a 3,000 gold lead. Pause coming out from the MSU side this time. So now it's going to be 15 minutes, right? Now that I've said there's been no long pauses, it's going to be a long one. Has it been 5 minutes since I said that? Someone listening in and doing it just to me? Matsu looks like he's got the shield rune and the amp damage rune. Can't call it a double damage anymore, but both bottled up, and not gonna ping that, but about half duration there on the shield rune as well. So see if you can't make something happen there. Giant Rat continuing to farm up these ancients. Double lift, making his way back towards the Manta, deal with some of the roots coming out from Troll. Makes a lot of sense. Swift Slash going to be a very nice item for Jug to pick up later on this game. Not this early, of course, but finding the angle onto the Zeus, finding the angle onto Techies, and not getting your the disarm to come through. Both pretty relevant. Matsu. Blink on cooldown, not able to defend the tower, so space with that Dragon form, able to take it down. Pretty low commitment. Has the Blink Dagger up on him as well. So 4-man smoke going to come through UCSD. So they're going to group up and head to the top lane. Leave the bounty rune behind. Porlison actually does pick it up, so could have spotted out this rotation. Instead, Murren maybe going to pay with his life. The attendance, very annoying, but damage was there for UCSD. So nice pick off, but still UCSD with that 4-man smoke looking for a little bit more than just an Enchantress kill. Namatsu, now with that amplified damage, jumps straight in onto Mr. Ink. He's going to find that first kill. Lots of HP to work with here for Namatsu. He's going to be able to get out Giant Rat. Misses the Burrow Strike, but still the Soulbind comes through. The Omni Slash over the top. Space, he's going to go down as well. That's 3 kills for MSU. Not able to take down the egg, but Courier 6, he's going to have to just dive his way away. So even with the Burrow Strike whiffing off the mark, a very nice return fight from MSU, and it's all kicked off by that tiny toss with the amplified damage. Gonna see this one coming through as just able to get in, take him down on Mr. Ink straight away. Sets up the beginning of this fight, and
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
woulda, coulda, shoulda hit the Burrow Strike, but ended up not mattering. Great positioning to get the Omni Slash off. Soulbind not even needed, but helping tie the targets together for the Omni Slash. Make sure Space can't get away, and the neutral creep's not going to be in the way enough. Not going to drag that Omni Slash out of position this time. Sometimes the creeps can be your biggest enemy on Juggernaut. Feels like every time you play Jug, you got to pray to the neutral lords to not bounce you away from your Omni Slash target. 1 slash and into the neutral camp, 2 hits, and then, you know, Omni Slash over. Fight goes a whole different way when that happens, let me tell you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire
But after all that, 12 to 10 for MSU, 1k net worth lead still held on to by UCSD. All come on the back of Nice Frog's net worth lead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Murad perhaps in some trouble. Spirit's not dumped off in time and gonna catch a couple of mines to the face. Will go down, so not able to find the attendance before Techies lands with the blast off there. UCSD gonna pop their head straight into the Roach Pit. Looks like MSU gonna be a bit far away from this one.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is falling.
And Nice Frog gonna end up grabbing the Aegis for his trouble. Definitely important to put the Aegis on to Troll, even though might look like with the BKB, with the Mjolnir, that he should always be able to get the Battle Trance off. Well, Avalanche Toss combo onto Troll, and things can look a little bit dicey. Last thing you want is Troll to go down, so gonna look to get him involved in some of these fights, and Mr. Ink just gonna have to be careful, make sure you're not the target of that Ava Toss combo. Zamatsu with the Echo Saber has a nice handful of damage. No smoke coming through on this rotation, so MSU just waddling their way down to the bot lane. Still, we've seen lots of rotations coming out from Amatsu, and he's done a pretty good job at it. 6-0-1. Definitely no moss on this Tiny, as he's been rolling through this game. Invisrune gonna end up timing out. Not gonna find the connection here, but
Dire's middle tower is under
we'll end up
attack.
setting up on the bot tier 1 tower, still standing after all this time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Double Lift farming a pretty precarious position here. Thinking about potentially defending the tower. Not sure that MSU really are interested in this play.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's Nice Frog already gonna start chipping away onto the tower. Get those
Radiant's bottom tower
attack speed stacks rolling. TPs are coming through. Amatsu looking for the blink, but the glyph gonna scare off UCSD for the time being, so the Inkswell not gonna connect. Looking for the wraparound play up on the high ground. There's no vision here from UCSD. As
tower is under attack.
great vision advantage from MSU at the moment. Space gonna be tossed over onto Nice Frog, but that just tosses him away from the team. Now the turnaround is coming, and oh, what a blast off coming through from Poreless, and it's going to catch out onto everybody. Giant Rat on the backside, trying to do what he can, but they did just find the Aegis. The Phoenix Egg up on the high ground as well. It's starting to do the work, and so far a 3 for 2. Amatsu trying to clean up on the backside. Courier 6 does go down. Ends up being a 3 for 3, and the Aegis
Dire's
taken
top tower
down,
is
so
under attack.
relatively even still. It is the 2 big cores on UCSD, the surviving members. They're able to take down the tier 2 tower as well, but for how that fight started off, things could have went a whole lot worse for MSU, and they had such a good wrap. They get the first toss, but they toss them the wrong way. Think about tossing Dragon Knight back towards your team and looking for just the pickoff. Instead, the blast-off comes through, and a little bit of chaos. Still, Jug able to find the Omni Slash just onto the 1. And probably ended up being the best Omni Slash he could have looked for there, too, because if he ends up bouncing over to Troll, he's not going to find the full kill there, 100-0, so just a bit of an awkward engagement, and ends up working out for MSU a lot more than I thought it would after the mistimed initiation. Still, at the end of it all, I can't help but think of it as a little bit of a whiff from Mississippi State there, as imagining them finding the jump onto Mr. Ink, them finding the jump onto one of these backline heroes because they had such an advantage from their positioning up on the high ground. But it ended up being a little bit early and a little bit misplaced on that jump. I will say also, Portland, haven't talked about him too much this game. A great initiation there in that last fight, but generally see him a lot richer when he plays the techies. I feel like he's always got an E-Blade in the works, always has these extra items cooking. But this game, a little bit more of a sacrificial role, as we'll see him jumped on once again, and Glimmer Cape, it might save him. The Sentry Ward dropped down late. Portland now dropping the mines from the backside somehow. Gets out, sub 100 HP there. And yeah, just a little bit late on the Sentry Ward, Mitamatsu. Couldn't find that last right click. Didn't want to put himself any further in harm's way either, so
Radiant are scanning.
once it's not there, it's not there. And honestly, a pretty nice decision to make of, you can give up this techie skill. It's not the most important thing in the world. Just make sure you don't overextend. And Amatsu, if he does die, or the next time he does die, will give up a large handful of gold. 6-0 and 3, level 17 as well, so will explode like a piñata if he does go down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Checking in to look over at Troll. Basher up, as well as the Elven Tunic, so evasion to work with against Jug, and that's one of the ways to really start to find the counter onto Jug, is to not let him hit you. And I don't mean by positioning yourself, but I mean by building that evasion. You might force him into something like an MKB, which never feels amazing to get on Jug. There's always other items that you'd prefer. And unfortunately, with just the Elven Tunic as well, the value really isn't there to get MKB, so you're gonna just have to deal with the evasion and suffer. Tormentor, gonna be the target for MSU. Giant Rat gets that Ag Shard, and pretty nice pickup. Now, not the same as the old Shard used to be, with the Epicenter pulls coming once in a while as you moved around. Now just coming based on time instead of by distance moved, so not as annoying as it once was, but still a pretty nice shard to have at any rate. Matsu finds another shield rune for himself. Shield rune on Tiny is so scary. There's just so much extra HP that you have to work with.
Dire are scanning.
Hunting a little bit by himself there. Popped the scan, thought about moving forward, but didn't know what he'd be moving into. This looks like he might have spotted a glimpse on that ward of the troll, and not a target he can really take down. Looks like double lift. Same track as I was earlier. The Swift Slash going to be a very nice ability for him to close the gap onto some of these more annoying targets on UCSD, and he'll have the Agnums very early this game. Third item. See what he decides to go for next, whether it be Butterfly maybe to enhance the damage, deal with Troll a little bit, or he will go into some of that True Strike. See. Just headed down into the mid. Matsu with the blink forward. They're going to toss back space. Not too far, but the Swift Slash is going to come through, and we'll have enough damage to take him down. F-Blade not going to save. Quick kill. Nice Force Staff as well. Gets double lift out of danger. Omni Slash was still available, but MSU not wanting to overcommit here. Very understandably so. Matsu still half the HP from his shield rune as well, so taking a look, trying to find the next blink forward. Courier 6. Bit of a precarious position. Looks like this time not going to find the angle, not going to find the jump. MSU will start to fall back. Oh, amplified damage rune spawns up top. They didn't see it as they headed back down towards the bot half. Gonna be spotted out now. Courier 6 gonna find that one, so it's like they do decide to give it over to Troll. Not in the bottle, so just going to be activated straight away. See if they want to take an engagement off the back of this one. Have some pretty decent vision down bottom as MSU wanted to set up for the Roshan. Will be spawning in just a minute. But right now, underneath the vision of UCSD, who are making the smoke, they're coming through. They've got the double damage rune. Half duration. Looks like it just might not have enough duration as they get down there, but counter smoke did come through for MSU. Drop their own ward. Gonna be scouted out. Or the smoke at least scouted out by Zeus. See who finds the jump onto who. It looks like Space gonna be taken down first, or will they find him? Double lift with the spin. He's forced to run away. Still Omni Slash is available to Matsu underneath the egg. This time he will be caught out. The egg actually connects onto everybody. It's just leaving so much space for Troll to start to hit away onto everybody. Looking for the Tiny first. Didn't find him, but will end up finding Giant Rat. And now the Jug not able to do anything. His Nice Frog takes so long for him to get the damage, but did eventually find it. Double kill for him. 3 heroes go down, and Amatsu trying to TP inside of the pit. Will he make it? The answer gonna be yes. Murren left out to dry. But it's gonna be a 4-for-1 trade-off. As so long there that Troll was just chopping wood, but Nice Frog eventually did find the damage that he needed. Swapped off from the Tiny, but Jug absolutely the more valuable kill. Roshan did spawn. Nice Frog thought about heading forward to the tier 2 first. Gonna be called off, and they're gonna head in for Rosh number 2.
Is under attack.
This one gonna have the Roshan's banner available. Still interested to see how UCSD decide to make use of this Roshan's banner. We've seen different teams go about it different ways. Most of the time I've seen it put alongside the lane that the team is pushing, but occasionally I've seen it to de-push other pushed out lanes, so looks like put over into Poor Listen's inventory. He was calling for it, so maybe he's got an idea of where to place it. Keep our eye out for that one. And for now, UCSD, 4,000 gold lead, and more importantly, Aegis into the hands of Troll. Starting to work on these tier 2 towers. Now, MSU thinking about contesting here. Matsu looking for the jump forward. They're going to try for Troll. Try and melt the Aegis away straight away, but that's such a hard kill to find. Giant Rat, he's in with the burrow strike, in with the epicenter, but it's not enough damage. He goes down straight away. Murren off to the side trying to get out, but it's going to be bold supports underneath the tower. And very ill-advised jump there. Looking for the one hero they probably can't kill. Double up. He's in with the Omni Slash after the fact. His team's dead. That was just the Swift Slash actually. Still has the Omni available, and they're able to take down the Aegis. Amatsu, where's that damage coming from? Mr. Ink's in, but like I said, Omni's still available. That's the E-Blade already used, so Mr. Ink could be in some trouble. Omni gonna be dumped down on top of him. Is the damage gonna come through? The Ogre Steel Totem trying to get him away. Just able to survive, and Amatsu first hit bash. The Swift Slash it bounces over the green plate. Are they gonna be able to find the kill on the Nice Frog? There's no ult available. Double Whip does find the kill. Only surviving member of his team just missed out onto the kill onto Mr. Ink, but not gonna miss the kill onto Troll. So salvaging that team fight despite having his Swift Slash bounce the wrong way. Ends up being about dead even, and again, such a weird initiation coming out from MSU. It feels like they jump on the one hero that they have no chance taking down, and at the end of a long drawn out fight, it ends up working for them. To some extent, it feels kind of magical that it ends up working for him. I mean, I don't really know where the damage came from. Onto that troll's first life. I mean, it just feels like absolute insanity. It feels like absolute insanity. For for Jug and Tiny to jump through onto 4 heroes and just go balls to the wall, say, yeah, you know, Omni slash, we got the abilities, we can do damage.
Attack.
They're not done here. This is a nice catch on a Mr. Ink. Ogre Seal Totem going to be interrupted by the Spine's Giant Rat. Aghanim Scepter completed, and this is the scary ability for Sand King to have. Ogre Seal Totem. Been a pretty good tool for Zeus to get out of trouble so far, but not going to help you against the Spines coming through. Giant Rat was looking maybe potentially to go forward, but going to be called back still. Shield Rune, it's actually just about to expire. Not going to find any more value there. MSU. Annoyed that this last tier 1 tower is still standing. They will go ahead and knock that one down.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So 22 to 21, we're back to a 1,000 gold lead here. And Space really feels like he's starting to fall behind. I say that, and Mr. Ink even a little bit further behind in the net worth, but level 19, he's got the Blink, got the Manta, but Aghanim Scepter not completed. I mean, it will be shortly, but a little bit behind the curve of what we'd typically be expecting. And level-wise as well, a little bit behind is Courier 6. Same level on the Phoenix. Maybe just speaks to how over-leveled Phoenix is, actually. 5-man smoke comes through, but MSU. Other side of the map. Grouped up in their own triangle. Jug did go for the butterfly that I had touched upon. Building towards the Scotty next. Showing in the mid lane a little bit of danger here is Space. Smoke's gonna break, double up a quick spin. Still gonna need some more help to get out of here as the TPs are coming in behind. Nice timing there, Portlason on the blast off, but this Omni Slash gonna come out? No, looks like he was stunned up the entire time. Giant Rat on the backside looking for Mr. Ink, but able to jump away. On the front, Amatsu getting run down underneath the tier 3 tower. There's gonna be enough damage to take him down. Rare Talent will be run down as well, and on the backside, Giant Rat falling low to the pair. Courier 6, Mr. Ink, both in. The Blink Dagger. It's gonna be there, gets him up to the high ground. Things do come out, they know where he is, but Giant Rat might just be far enough away here.
Radiant are scanning.
And a great fight there from UCSD as they're able to take down a couple of heroes. Nice smoke there, and
Dire's top
maybe
tower
not quite
is
done.
under
Space
attack.
looking for the extra kill onto Murren. This one quite hard. No TP available for Murren, but does have those Nature's Attendants, so gonna be forced back. But in the meantime, look at this creep wave up on the high ground. You're not just killing this one up. Trying to do their best job to cut the wave up top as they could, but it's a full set of barracks going down for UCSD, and with the size of this creep wave, they will be able to turn it into more if they want, but looks like instead they'll opt to back off together, take down the tier 2 in the mid, and not want to overstay their welcome, not want to assume their advantage is more than it is.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower
All set
is
up there
under
by
attack.
Portlason. Blast off timing onto Jug, made sure that the Swift Slash couldn't get off, the Omni Slash couldn't get off, followed up by the Abyssal Blade from Troll. We see a Hex now completed onto Portlason, this one freshly delivered, so definitely not going to be expecting this one, MSU. So I believe there's no Lincoln, no Lotus to try and deal with this one, as yeah, nothing of the like coming out. Tormentor was snatched away in the meantime. UCSD up to an 8,000 gold lead after that. As how quickly things can change in the game of Dota 2 as we get towards the late game. 39 minutes in, 25 to 21. Game's been so even throughout, but now UCSD definitely feeling like they're on the front foot. So a tier 4 item starting to drop. The Mindbreaker picked up for a double lift. Gonna be a very nice one for himself. Amatsu, Daedalus on the Tiny. Surprised he's not looked into an Aghanim Scepter just yet. Instead, looking towards a Moon Shard. Mr. Ink, Aghanim Scepter has been picked up.
Has been killed.
Looks like he's had it for some small amount of time, but not sure if he's actually managed to caps the Nimbus or not. Couple of Aviana's Feathers coming out at the same time. The 25% evasion against Jug. So nice for these UCSD heroes. And as I was saying, it's so super annoying when you have just these neutral item evasions against Jug where there's no one picking up Halberd, there's no natural evasion spells. You don't want this MKV if you don't need it. And he wants the Scotty, I mean, he wants to deal with Troll. But unfortunately, just not the easiest way to do it. Nice Frog. We'll be building into the Swift Blink as well once his Courier respawns. 12 and 2 on Troll, having a nice game for himself as well, back up top of the net worth charts.
Radiant are scanning.
So smoke comes through. MSU looking to get involved here, but Giant Rat might want to wait out this BKB before going in. Support's actually quite far forward here. A little bit awkward, a little bit of split positioning from MSU. Gotta hope you don't break on these smokes on the supports for the time being. Murren spots out a Courier, so gonna know where they are, but starting to get flanked as Space ends up popping the smoke. He's underneath the Obs Ward. Murren, Blink comes out, Dragon Tail as well. See if they can't kill off this Enchantress to begin the fight, but instead it looks like Techies was jumped over to the side. Bit of a split engagement going on as Space in the Black Dragon form, flying around the Fiend, the Twin Gate, but the Switch Slash gonna come through, and look how much damage there is. The Burrow Strike through as well. There's so much work able to be put down. Relatively low commit as well. Nice Frog. Able to run away, but not used to seeing Dragon Knight melt that quickly. And Roshan gonna spawn in 19 seconds, so MSU just need to be careful not to abandon the pit too early. It looks like everyone is walking away from it. Still, these wards existing from UCSD will finally be dewarded. See the TP back from Double Lift to push out this top side. Well, I meant to check out where the Roshan's banner was placed, and
His middle tower is under attack.
from the caster perspective, from the Obs perspective, it's not the easiest to tell when it does go down, so unfortunately, looks like I did miss that one. Gonna just double check and make sure it's not in anyone's inventory, but yeah, it looks like that was taken.
Radiant are scanning.
MSU wanted to set up for Roche now, but after Jug and TP'd, it's a little bit slow. See if UCSD want to respond to this. They dropped the Nimbus in for Vision. But it looks like they recognize they're not going to get here in time, at least not in time to be coordinated about it. So Aegis, Refresher Shard, and the Roshan's banner going to go their way. Chug grabs the Aegis. You know, something that I did hear recently, and I cannot confirm, but be interested to know if people have heard this one as well, is that the Aegis apparently always spawns in the same position. So you can like spam click on Roche to always pick up the Aegis, even if it's got more things, right? But it's made things awkward for players who do that because the Roshan's banner spawns like over the top of where people would click. So for the Radiant Aegis, you can pick up the Roshan's banner like that. Not sure if that's what Double Lift was doing, or if that's just, you know, coincidence, but I have heard that one recently, and cannot confirm it. I'm not too sure that it's true, But, I don't know. I'm interested to see if people can corroborate that, because I never do that. I always just, you know, waited until the pieces hit the ground and then looked for the Aegis and then clicked on the Aegis so that I could make sure I didn't, like, put the cheese in my inventory or something. And then ended up having the Aegis stolen off the ground. But if the Aegis does always spawn in the same place, probably something to add to our game. Anyway, Moonshard was picked up for Amatsu. Still not thinking about the Aghanim Scepter. Instead wants to build up towards the Harpoon. Already had the Echo Saber in his inventory. Rare Talent wants a Halberd, actually, and makes sense against the Troll. And I guess additionally, the Dark Portrait, not amazing this game. Zeus Troll, Dragon Knight. DK in the Dragon form, not a bad Illu to get, but overall, you don't get the same buffs. You don't get the attack speed buff on the Troll illusion, so not necessarily the best Illus to get out of that Dark Portrait this game, so won't be seeing the Aghanim Scepter come out.
Top tower has fallen.
They put the Refresher Shard onto Sand King. It's actually an interesting decision to put the Refresher Shard onto Sand King. Figured they might be able to put it into Jug's inventory for that second Omni Slash, because we've seen there's not a lot of save coming out from UCSD, and the Omni Slash has put in a lot of work, but instead, double Epicenter, double Sandstorm gonna be the idea. Taking a look across the river as we've been focused on these MSU heroes for a while. Troll did pick up that Swift Blink. Now thinking about an MKB of his own to make sure he can hit into Jug. And the full Refresher Orb picked up from Mr. Ink as well. Those are going to be the two main items coming through, though I guess in E-Blade was picked up by Porlison. Talked about it earlier in the broadcast that I was surprised he didn't have one earlier. Well, he's going to make up for that now as is available. And BKB for space as well. That's going to be a fresh one ready for next fight. So he's done getting blown up. 4,000 HP to work with. And the BKB going to help him reduce some of the damage. Not only the tiny combo, but also reducing the Mjolnir procs coming through off of the Jug is going to be pretty significant for the Dragon Knight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire
Well, with 1 minute left on the Aegis, looks like MSU going to start to put some pressure up towards the high ground. TP's coming back through for UCSD, but double lift. That's an early spin as he wants to go and start to work on the tower. Just going to pop the illusions up there, the Hex. Gonna spook him off for now.
Radiant's
Look how annoying these illusions are onto the tower. Takes so long to clear out. Double lift, gonna walk straight back up. They take the tower so quickly. Double lift again during the spin. He'll be up on the high ground and has the Force Staff to get him away. So the tier 3 tower grab. Looking to even up the Rax advantage, but seems like with 30 seconds left on the Aegis, they're gonna make the TP back up to the top lane as the Roshan's banner's still alive. Chase forward. MSU maybe not being as disciplined as they could be, backing together. And Rare Talent with the Yules, trying to get himself away, but might just pay the price with his own life. He's bowed out of kit now, and will get blinked on and killed. TP on cooldown. Looks like he might have actually cancelled the TP or been forced to cancel the TP. Not quite sure there. The Aegis times out. And Moonshard on Enchantress, so Murren taking the Dark Willow path and gonna be ready to put some immense damage forward. One thing missing from MSU side, and would like to see it on double lift at some point, maybe consume the Ags and go for it, is the Nullifier between the couple of Ethereal Blades coming out. One on Techies, one on Zeus as well. Gonna be pretty hard to find the Swift Slash, Omni Slash combos. Now, with the Swift Slash, it does make it a little bit easier to get involved in these fights without committing the full Omni Slash, so it's not as bad as it once was playing against these E-Blades, but is quite annoying for Jug if a large portion of your damage gets negated in the fight, so look for him to pick up one of those, perhaps. Though not sure he's thought of it just yet, as we haven't seen too much impact, actually. Oh, careful not to die. You're just fine, Giant Rat. But yeah, I haven't had too much impact out of these Ethereal Blades. At least not defensively, I should say. So I think it might be one of those things that, yeah, Moonshard gonna be consumed instead for double lift, so not thinking about these extra items, as he'll consume the Moonshard himself. Not sure how valuable the consumed Moonshard actually is here. Approaching max attack speed already on Jug. I haven't played enough Jug to know how the calculations work out. But Jug, with his reduced base attack time, can hit max attack speed relatively easily when you get into these late games, so I think I would have preferred to see another item come through, either eat the eggs and get another item, or something to go over the place of the treads in the meantime. Excuse me, the treads, the travels in the meantime, but instead just upping his damage output, making sure that he's hitting that attack speed cap. It looks like he does have some faster attack speed now. I'm just not sure whether there's room to grow between the butterfly, or if he caps out with maybe half of this attack speed, whatever it ends up being.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, heading through the gate here. The TP's away. MSU again needs to be careful to back off together. Thunder God's Wrath gonna come through, and it's gonna scout out the supports being left behind. Giant Rat with the TP is gonna try and make it out, and Rare Talent, well, he's gonna channel up the Lotuses, and again, he's gonna be the one that pays with his life for sticking around a little bit too long. Very awkward there, as MSU looking like they wanted to position early for the Roche that could have spawned some 15 seconds after they set up on that high ground, immediately TPing out, taking the gate out, and getting away. Well, Roche is going to spawn in 30 seconds. So now going to be UCSD in prime position for this fourth Roche. Mr. Ink going toe-to-toe. Amatsu. BKB going to be forced out, and no cancel coming through. Oh, look what's in Mr. Ink's quick buy here. This is a fun little item you got queued up. Rapier, of course, giving the extra spell damage now as well means that Zeus can play a little bit of Fountain Zeus. With the Refresher, with the Nimbus, with the Thunder God's Wrath. You have quite the orbital array of damage. So Roshan has spawned, is available on the bot side. Space still looking for that level 25 as well. Gonna find a blink for it onto Amatsu, and this is a nice find if they can have enough damage. Nice Frog looks like he's definitely gonna have it, and the rest of the team melting behind. Buyback comes out immediately from Tiny. Giant Rat has it available, but not gonna commit it just yet. Now gonna commit it forward, and Murren starting to do the damage, but not gonna be enough to take down DK straight away. The buybacks coming through and rejoining the team. But UCSD, a nice job to back off cohesively here. Able to get position up, down towards the high ground, and underneath their ward as well, Space. Plenty of duration on the dragon form. Double lift, sending the illusion straight towards him. Thinking about heading towards the Roshan, but Amatsu in on the front side. Giant Rat as well, channeling up onto Space. No BKB available, but double lift on the backside. Finds Nice Frog. Nice Frog forced to pop the ult defensively. Actually on an illusion, now blinks forward, but blinks forward into a lot of trouble with Swift Slash. Just takes one hit, and that's all he needs. Double lift. Looking to clean house now, and the TP's come through from UCSD. Zeus able to get away, but he's going to be the only one. The buyback's coming in very clutch for MSU. Able to rejoin the fight, and another awkward position, another awkward fight to take. See what we can't see on the back end of that one. Just able to clean up. The troll ult was so sad. I ended up following the jug ult and ended up blinking back in on no HP. such an awkward position to be in there. Felt like he had to stay involved and had to get back into the fight on Troll, but not an easy thing to do there. I mean, he's so low HP, the ult duration running out. Super awkward. UCSD all having buybacks, but Roshan's banner in hand again. Gonna be able to push out the top side.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Refresher shard was used on Giant Rats. They're gonna be on cooldown.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But the bot rack's gonna go down. MSU thinking about, oh, they put the Roaches and Tons banner right underneath the tier 4. His clip gonna be forced out. Again, 4 buybacks available. Gotta be careful here. They're committing on for the tier 4s, but the first of the buybacks gonna come through. 1 tier 4 goes down. The rest of the team needs to get away. Double lip. Gonna get a Missile Blade. Trying to beat TP right in front of their faces. Instead, in a lot of trouble. Aegis, not quite gonna go down. Swim Slash, not enough there. And no Omni Slash available either. Amatsu on the backside was taken down. And Double lip not gonna be far behind as he falls as well. 1 buyback on Juggernaut. They're gonna commit it immediately. Murren as well was forced to buy. And Rare Talon goes down himself. Not respecting the buybacks at all, Mississippi State. Double lift, the recognition just not there. Didn't realize that. Didn't quite have that get out of jail free card. A couple of ways to cancel it off now. Between the Troll, between the Abyssal Blade. I guess one way to cancel it out, really. The Troll Abyssal Blade is the way, as the bashes need to come through in one form or another. But now going to be a very, very hard hold, as 80 seconds without Tiny and a double damage rune or an amplified damage rune to boot coming out for Nice Frog. Still, no one has any buybacks to work with this entire game. So going to be a little bit scary to push forward, but they're going to know they want to on UCSD. They have 1 Rex already. Thinking about targeting the mid now. The jump forward, they're going to find Jug. He's Abyssal Bladed up, he's stunned up, and he's going to be maybe taken down. He's in the spin, forced out the way, he's getting out. The healing ward was down, now turning with the Omni Flash. He's going to have enough damage to take anyone down. Nice Frog falling over Nice Frog, he's going to die after 24 seconds on the deck. And the full heal comes out from Double Whip surviving through it all the mans. He's not able to dodge off the damage, and he goes down to the Nimbus. 3 kills for 3, it supports and Zeus alive. At the end of it all, and the Rapier was picked up from Mr. Ink, giving him the damage that he needed to commit forward into that fight.
Dire's middle tower is
What an
under
insane, I guess 3 for 2 as Tiny was already down, but what an insane fight there on the high ground that ends up being the only way the game doesn't end, one way or the other. Jug falls so low and the Omni Slash just bounces through onto everybody. Nearly has the damage to kill, but not quite. If Jug survives there, they win the game. If Jug dies there and doesn't find the kills, they lose the game. At the end of the day, there's no damage to take down the residual heroes. There's no tower damage left for UCSD. So they're not able to commit forward for anything more. Oh my goodness. What an absolute monster of a game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now starting to push forward, as with Amatsu alive, buildings will fall rather quickly. Murren level 25, able to grab that extra impetus damage. BKB
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
available going forward.
Radiant's
Mid barracks under siege, 3 hits the range, 5 hits on the melee is all he needs. Now headed up to the top side, taking a lot of damage from the mines. The BKB in late. Murren starting to fall low, has to jump away with the attendants. Amatsu falling very low, has to be careful, he's just dead. What? Team? Couldn't find him at all, and whew, that does not feel good. It's Tiny just in the grave. Started from eating the mines, pops the BKB, but instead of trying to get out, just commits forward for the racks. I mean, he gets the tower, but top set still alive. Now 73 seconds, no Tiny.
Gotcha.
And I'd imagine UCSD don't run it up the high ground, though. It looks like they might be thinking about it. Still 4 minutes with no buybacks. But instead, they could just work to get lanes in and get position to grab the tier 5 items. Refresher up on DK. Didn't take the AoE Dragon Tail. When I saw the refresher, I thought he might have for a moment. But I would like to see some of these high net worth heroes. See a Conda coming out for Zeus. Pick up a Midas in anticipation of the 60-minute rune because... Or the 60-minute items, as it's the easiest way to make sure that you get them off of the safe camps, especially for MSU who are playing down a hero. Might not seem like a scary exodus from the base, but it certainly is. Double lift, farming what neutrals he can. We'll find the first of the tier 5s. Still making the decision on what to get, and stop farming the neutrals for the rest of his team. Magic Lamp comes out, and the Stygian Desolator. This item is such a bait. This item is such a bait, in my opinion. Feels like it never does enough. I guess they could be looking to siege fast, but it's hard. Magic Lamp. Gonna try and make sure that Sand King able to get the full wave of spells through. See if we've had any other tier 5 items. Looks like a Magic Lamp come through for Zeus. Giant's Ring for Nice Frog. And that's gonna be a really nice one coming through for the Troll. Able to get over the cliff as well. Gonna be the biggest deal there. And the Seer Stone for Techies, the extra cast range. And we'll have to see what Portlason decides to do about that. Super long range on the blast off. Gonna be able to initiate from anywhere, but more importantly, the Hex and the E-Blades. The Save's gonna come through from anywhere he wants. Able to plant mines from a mile away. Gonna help out as well. On the other side, seeing Mirror Shield come through for Tiny. Force Boots on the Enchantress. Feels like some pretty weak items actually coming through for the MSU side. Mirror Shield gonna be a decent one. Dragon Tail, Abyssal Blade, Hex. A lot of high value spells and not too many low value spells that you can always reflect the Arc Lightning. Amatsu, he just wants in, wants to take down the Megas, the Glyph. Gonna be forced. But Amatsu gonna be forced away. Able to get himself out of there. See if we picked up the last of the neutral items. A Pirate Hat over on Courier 6. Ready for the late game as extra injection of gold going to be coming through. Definitely doesn't need the attack speed on the Techies. And Mirror Shield going spaces away as well. Gonna wrap up the tier 5 items, so it's gonna show off all the items, but hold that thought. Smoke on smoke action coming through. Portlason finds himself forward, Hex up immediately, but Zamatsu in a lot of trouble. BKB before stuff onto the high ground, now trying to run away, trying to get what damage he can done. Running away, he's actually still living, but eventually he does fall. Buyback comes through. That one's just up from the boss fight. Troll got the ult up, but falling low, falling dead. 3 heroes dead, including Space, and the egg goes down. That's no buybacks, that's just the game. GG. And that's all you really need, huh? Take a quick look at how that last fight went. As late game Dota really is kind of crazy. Looks like the Hex went out onto the Mirror Shield. I mean, how Portlason got hit by that one. Tiny lives so long in the Soulbind on the backside, keeping Troll locked in underneath that Sandstorm. Just getting knocked up in the air by the spines. Ends up being Giant Rat's control. Doing more than enough work there in the late game, as MSU does take game number 1 in style. Late game, 63-minute victory there for Mississippi State. What an exciting game. What a way to kick off our series. What a way to kick off our best of 3. Gonna go ahead and make the next lobby. But, whew, man, I mean, that's such a fun one. Absolutely fun game. I don't have too much more to say about that. Late game Dota fries my brain even more than regular Dota. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to imagine the teams want at least a short break between matches here. So get that one set up for you, and we'll be back for game number 2. But for now, Mississippi State up 1-0 over UCSD. They're going to be coming back with a vengeance. So grab a break, grab a snack, grab a drink. See you back here in just a couple of minutes. See you then.
poner la pócima para enloquecerme, pero voy a draw the line. Que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. Sé que como un trofeo quieres tenerme, pero I don't need no one. Que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. No, 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 baby, no, 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 no setbacks. No, 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 baby, no, 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 this time. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give in, I can't give in. I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. Would you bad, but you bad it for me. I can't give in, I can't give in. I've already run with the wolves. Far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you, I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side of the moon. So if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you. I'm stronger, I'm stronger, I'm stronger today. I'm stronger today. There you were on the other side of the room. Place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. The crowd, it grew so loud. You and I didn't even care. I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear. I've loved you since I met you. Did I ever tell you that? I tried to push you out, you pull in. I fell hard so fast. There you were on the other side of the room. Place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. The crowd, it grew so loud. You and I didn't even care. I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear. I've loved you since I met you. Did I ever tell you that? I tried to push you out, you pull in. I fell hard so fast. There you were on the other side of the room. Place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. Pray for
All right, we are back. We are hopping into the draft. It looks like this time
Dire team
my
back.
prediction was almost exactly right on how long it would take to get these teams ready and willing to go for game number 2. But what an exciting game number 1. I mean, absolute exciting game number 1. Was dead even for nearly the entire time. I mean, there's not a moment in that game where it wasn't tight, it wasn't close, didn't feel like anyone's game. There was a couple of throws, there was throws each way. I mean, ooh, man. Amatsu on the tiny, what a throw he almost had up on the high ground. Just hit some racks, you know. Just go ahead and die with no buyback, it's fine. Ended up working out for him though in the end, so who can really complain? But so many plays in that game to dissect, so many plays in that game that really just looked like they shouldn't work out for MSU. I mean, there's maybe 5 or 6 plays that had me shaking my head like, how is MSU getting away with this? Like, they make some weird initiation, they make some weird jump, they go on a target that I wouldn't think is what you want, and for the most part, the beginnings of their fights when they did this weird stuff, well, it wasn't good. I mean, they would lose a hero or two, they'd be on the back foot, and all of a sudden they just have this turnaround in the team fight where heroes are dying left and right on UCSD, and it seems like the damage is just coming from nowhere, if I'm honest. So MSU definitely clawing a little bit for their win there in game number 1. Oh, and I put the game win tag on the wrong side. I can't even blame anyone else because I did it myself. God damn it. I'm unhappy about that. Whatever, it's fine. You guys can't see. I'll show you just what I'm unhappy about. But that little win slot under UCSD is just wrong, and it's going to show up for the entire game. And I'm gonna be unhappy about it, but it's okay. MSU won game 1. In case you weren't watching, you know, go watch. If you didn't watch game 1 and you're tuning into the draft of game 2 for some reason, you wanted to listen to me talk about the draft, but you didn't watch game 1. Go watch game 1. That was a whole lot of fun. That was the first tier 5 item game that I've gotten to cast this season of NACE. We did have one week number 1, University of Toronto Benchwarmers versus Seneca College. That one, unfortunately, we do not have a replay of, we do not have a broadcast of, we do not have anything for. Don't even have stats on that one. The only way I know it got tier 5 items that game is because I was talking with the captain of University of Toronto, and he was pushing me to try and cast that game. Like, yeah, we need to get the replay for this one. Need to get it going. There was like a 74-minute game or something, 72-minute game. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. It was game 1. You can go do the whole series. And I was excited. I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna cast the hell out of that series. Week 1, without the ticket, it's hard to get replays already, so went and downloaded the local versions of the replays, had them sent over from Toronto, walked them through the process, get the replays, and then immediately the Lunar New Year patch came out with just the treasure. But the treasure added the cosmetic slot to the Ancient, and it broke every old replay from before the Ancient had a cosmetic slot. So you could open up the replay, it would last about 5 seconds, and then it would crash Dota entirely, because it was looking for the object for the Radiant Ancient, looking for the object for the Dire Ancient, and they had since changed their ID numbers, so go ahead and crash the game, and we didn't get to cast that one. But always fun to see ultra late game Dota. I mean, the chaos is just chaos. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of skill involved, but at the end of the day, there are so many micro decisions that it would take, you know, you have to go not quite frame by frame, but at least second by second to get some of the decision making behind the plays that get made, and that's on an individual hero level. Looking at, you know, coordinated team fights is just an exercise in futility once you get to that point, with spells bouncing around, mirror shields going off, giants rings, BKBs, ults coming down, random stuns bouncing through. I mean, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, and we love it for Dota. This is one of those things I understand why people go back and forth on the tier 5 items, because they are kind of nonsense, but also they make for this fun kind of round 2 idea that people can have on games of Dota, where you play real Dota, right? You play real Dota for about 58 minutes, maybe like 57, 58 minutes. The next 2 minutes after that,
5 seconds.
all about setting up for these tier 5 items and making sure you're in position to take them, and you know, nothing really gonna happen then. You might have some weird skirmishes in random areas to try and stop teams from having map control to hit jungle creeps, but otherwise you're just setting up to get your items. And then you get 60-minute Dota, where you have these broken items that don't deserve to be in the game, but exist to end the game in the next 5 minutes. It's exactly what we saw. MSU, UCSD, you know, one fight afterwards. Just took one fight. No Roshan, just one fight. Ends the game, just on the spot. And at the end of the day, that fight was forced by MSU running up the high ground with Tiny and just reckless abandon, hit into the racks. Try and take down the mega creeps.
5 seconds.
So I'm expecting
remaining.
big things from this game number 2. I'm really expecting big things from this game number 2.
Team picked.
As MSU taking the first one. UCSD, like I said, very strong team last season. Gonna be looking to take MSU's lunch money. UCSD lost, I believe, one match last season. I'm actually gonna pull up the record here,
10 seconds remaining.
just so I don't tell you the wrong thing here.
5 seconds remaining.
UCSD, they lost 1 or 2, and I believe it was 1. In the fall, they lost 1 in the playoffs. Oh no, they actually went undefeated regular season and then just went ahead and lost in the playoffs. Is that right? UBC was the 2 seed. That is right. I'm remembering now. Because I believe UBC didn't actually play their whole lineup that game. So, yeah, UCSD undefeated last season in the regular season. In fact, interesting stat for you, didn't lose a game in the regular season in the West Coast Division. UCSD. So, handed their first regular season game loss in this entire 2023-2024. I'll call it a set of seasons. It's not quite one season, but I think something about the academic year makes them kind of innately tied together.
5 seconds remaining.
Into this draft, before we get too ahead of ourselves, UCSD went ahead and first picked the Crystal Maiden. Very interesting first pickup for them. It's going to be another poor listened hero, as going to see Courier 6 handling the Grimstroke this game. And then they just go ahead with Slardar with Ember Spirit. Ember, mid-hero that did leak through somehow. Not too sure how that happened, as one of the premier mid-heroes on the Ember Spirit. Very early to the Mage Slayer, and
Dire team
very annoying to try and lock down this Ember throughout the game. Meanwhile, MSU did go back to the Juggernaut well. They picked up a Gyro as well, and it's looking like it might be a support Gyrocopter. Been seeing this hero in support role, and I believe also flexed over to carry
10
nowadays,
seconds
but
remaining.
might have to double check that as well, because that sounds so wrong,
5 seconds remaining.
but also so right. I used to play a lot of carry Gyro, and it was a fun time. But this hero feels too weak to be ever flexed to a carry, so I'm gonna assume it's all support Gyro nowadays, perhaps. Yeah, people are playing it in the carry. Not nearly as much as support, about 1 to 4. It does get picked up occasionally, so I was right about that. Anyway.
10 seconds remaining.
Then they go ahead with the Witch Doctor, with the
5
Darkseer.
seconds remaining.
Darkseer, Witch Doctor, you know. Aghanim Scepter, Witch Doctor could come out later on in the game if this game goes long. Will be pretty reasonable. Darkseer, not a bad pickup. Haven't seen the safe lane come out for UCSD, but pretty stable. You're always able to play with Vacuum. Should be able to find farm. You're a pretty natural aura carrier as well, though you don't build a Mage Slayer on Darkseer for obvious reasons. We'll be getting an early Shivas, and
5 seconds remaining.
Slardar not too happy to deal with the Shivas. Still, I think this MSU Darkseer pick is more for comfort on their end than it is for counter pick within the draft. And should function well enough with Juggernaut, with Witch Doctor as well. Oh, interesting. UCSD going for a last pick Wraith King, going for the big beefy strength, boys. See what can come out from MSU, maybe as a potential counter. They're going to be looking for a mid hero to match up, and UCSD did ban out the OD, banned out the Huskard. It's a couple of matchups that Ember wouldn't be the happiest in.
5 seconds remaining.
Looks like Lena did manage to slip through, so could see a Lena come through from MSU, and I think I'd like to see that a lot. You do have to deal with the Slardar in the game, but...
You may now select your
Oh, MSU gonna go with the Bounty Hunter instead. This is a pretty good mid matchup for the Bounty, but at the end of the day, you do have to deal with having a Bounty Hunter in your mid lane position. So always something to deal with there. It should win the mid matchup for sure against Ember. And will have a lot of magic damage, but it does not match up so well against the Wraith King, nor against the Slardar. So Amatsu wanted this hero, obviously, but we'll have to see him do some pretty tremendous things in the early game, I think, in the matchup in lane, to make this pay off. Otherwise, he's going to be playing from behind in terms of hero matchup for, you know, pretty much the entire mid to late game. We'll be able to find pickoffs onto the supports, both Crystal Maiden and Grimstroke. Pretty squishy supports, and you're able to get track off if you go the Ags route, maybe. The Shurikens will start to do work onto the backlines, but I really think Amatsu's going to struggle with his positioning, where Slardar and Wraith King both going to be hunting him, both going to be able to find him as well as the bigger deal. And it will be hard for him to play the outskirts of the fight without playing too far from his team and just getting kind of killed repeatedly. I think that's going to be a pretty big threat, as well as Juggernaut, you know, not really the easiest way to deal, and Darkseer as well. They're not protecting heroes to protect your Bounty Hunter from getting jumped on. Neither are the supports, if I'm honest. So, like I said, big things gonna have to happen in the lane to get it going.
prepare for battle.
But we are into game number 2. Like I said, apologies for this this game 1 score is the only thing that I did manage to mess up about the setup, and luckily, you know, no functional difference to having that up there. But yeah, I mean, I don't really like that it's wrong, but what can you do? I would appreciate it more if I wasn't the one who said it, but because I'm the one who said it, I'm going to be critical of it. Still, it's week 2. This is the second lobby I've had to set up this season for our teams, as we do get the issues resolved with the NACE League ticket. So things should smooth out as the season goes on. Once again, early MSU versus UCSD, things are pretty calm around the rune spots, each team just occupying different halves of the river.
The battle begins.
Thinking about going forward, Courier 6, looking for the ink swallow. No dice wasn't there, no opportunity to go forward for a kill. Runes end up going 2 for 2. Take a look at this mid lane matchup, this marquee matchup in this game. Samatsu gonna start off strong with the Janatas. That's what this matchup is all about, especially into level 3. Bounty Hunter gets a lot of damage off with the Janata, really against any melee matchup. But we see early on the wave getting pushed pretty deep underneath his tower. He's gonna miss a couple of CS for it as well. The denies come through, and he's gonna miss the entire first wave. Does actually claim the 1 CS, so falling a little bit behind on the early waves, but gonna try and pick that up as the game progresses. He finds the spike at level 2 with the Shuriken, and ooh, first blood down bottom. Up top, jeez. Found the Slardar, Maledict spin, all that was required.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So there we go, too busy watching the mid matchup and worrying about whether Bounty's going to be able to get his game going. That Missed the first blood and no level 2 required on the side lanes. Just go ahead and find that first kill. Just going to touch on this Darkseer lane quickly, as I imagine spend most of our time away from here, but expecting to see each of these heroes get their farm going once Giant Rat gets to level 3 as well. The level 2 Ion Shell should give him some pretty nice pushing power in the lane, and Wraith King will be totally fine to farm down there, so gonna be pretty quiet. Revenge Kill's gonna come through up top space. Found the crush. Or not able to get the Centaur aggroed to him. Ooh, say that 10 times fast. Double lift. Forced to spin, get back underneath the tower as the Inkswell. Threat of the Inkswell was a little bit too scary for him. Still Murren just fine in the farm department up here. 4 denies for the Jug as well already, so... Even the hard camp pull getting off here already did get pulled one time for UCSD, so... Centaur, a bit too high HP. Oh, and some very awkward creep shenanigans here. Want to keep our eyes up on this top lane, as bottom nothing too exciting going on, and could be a kill at any time, but it looks like Lotus fight gonna kick off potentially. Murren wants in, but double lift a bit far away here. The bash and the crush come through. Murren starting to take some damage. The coconut dropped over, finds a couple of bashes, and double lift now going to go forward with the spin. Just hoping for the level 3, but didn't quite find it in time, and now Space starting to take a lot of damage from the Maledict. He just barely is going to get out with his life, and Murren as well in the same amount of trouble. Meanwhile, down bottom, Darkseer did go down in that Lotus fight. Looks like potentially another kill. Nope. The Surge gonna be able to get Rare Talent out of danger there. Have to just continuously look across these side lanes. Expected just top to be the aggro one, but Lotus fights do always give the opportunity for extra kills to come through. Take a quick peek back into the mid lane as Matsu full Orb of Corrosion ready. Starting to take some damage from the Slight, starting to take some damage from the Flame Guard as well. Mr. Ink up in the XP. 26-4 versus 19-1, so not too big of a differential, but just enough to make a difference. Namatsu, I'll be interested in what his early build-up looks like and when he's looking to get active. The 6-minute rune. A pretty obvious candidate. He'll have probably level 7 for that one. You can just see how much harass he takes every time he steps up to the wave with the Flame Guard. Just level 1 Flame Guard, but 3 points in the Sleight of Fist. There's another one available now. Matsu falling low, but the bottle delivered and will be okay. Take a look back up at the top lane where it's like MSU starting to fall behind a little bit in the level. Slardar maybe looking for level 4 with the bash, with the Inkswell spin. Not out in time. Now will be dropped. Maledict dumped over as well, but not nearly enough damage. Gonna drop the healing ward and try and survive, try and stay alive, but the wand, it's not quite gonna be enough in space with the Maledict. Falling very low. Aggro's the wave. Now gonna turn out to Murren. The wand, it was there and not enough damage. Space. 50 HP, but able to claim the kill. Double lift. Couldn't approach, just simply too low on this Juggernaut. Still, it's just about the end of the regen coming through from UCSD, so not a bad trade. Ends up losing his life, sure, on the Witch Doctor, but space being so low means he's not going to be able to contest super hard going forward in this lane, and as the 6-minute Lotuses are going to spawn, it's going to put MSU in a good position to contest for these. Coconut drop, Maledict. Gonna be... Well, Maledict was on the mark, but the spin not able to catch up, and Courier 6 claims the Lotus for himself. Meanwhile, a little bit too engaged in that top rune fight as Mr. Ink finds the kill onto Bounty. Matsu going down, even though he did have Rare Talent alongside. That's the rune fight gone wrong as Mr. Ink able to pop that one. The illusion rune, the illusion's giving him that little bit of extra damage to take down the bounty hunter. Close skirmish there, just not able to find the kill. So MSU behind 4-1 here, early going. 6.5 minutes. Wisdom rune's gonna be spawning as we see supports making their way across on either side. Giant Rat in a little bit of trouble as forced to surge away underneath the tower, but will be okay. Wisdom runes go 1 for 1. Meantime, not such a fun lane for MSU anymore as seen Gyro forced back. Porlison playing super aggressive. They're gonna have the TP coming in underneath the tier 1, but Giant Rat, he's so low. Need to be careful. They're gonna find the vacuum. Porlison starting to feel the pain now, but trying to get the return kill out for himself and does manage to take down Giant Rat before going down. So Porlison forces the TP rotation, and not only that, trades himself out 1 for 1 behind the tower, giving infinite space over to Nice Frog. 19 denies on Nice Frog, 47 CS, and meanwhile just 20 coming out for the Darkseer. So levels behind and gonna continue to struggle here. Nice Frog soon though will likely migrate over to the jungle and accelerate his farm with the level 3 skeletons. Mid Amatsu in some trouble now. The TP coming through from Rare Talent, but no immediate stun. Amatsu out on 10 HP. Oh, so tight as again Mr. Ink bottles up the 8-minute rune. Looking for more slight spam. Saying this mid matchup should go pretty well for Bounty, but he's feeling the pain now from the max Sleight of Fist build. Double Lift in some trouble. Spin trying to get himself underneath the tower, has the Omni Slash to work with, and he's going to find it out onto Space. Space trying to share the damage, but it's not going to happen. The immediate stun onto Porlison cancels out the ultimate as well. Courier 6, a little bit of trouble. Amatsu, he's in, has the Shuriken available. Track dumped over onto Courier 6, will eventually go down to the Maledict. We'll find the pair of kills for MSU. They do lose Juggernaut in the process, but did find the first kill onto Slarda with that Omni Slash used. Matsu wants to kill onto Porlison. Need to be careful though. Space, he's in. He's charging forward with that sprint, not able to catch up to the Bounty Hunter. Space instead turns his attention over towards Murren. Murren trying to get to the tower. Looks like he'll make it. And meanwhile, Porlison ends up going down to the Maledict over to the side. Still in the meantime, Mr. Ink has been hammering away at this tower, starting to do some work of his own, down to about half HP. We'll now start to back off, head down. Find the bottle refilled on the bounty rune, perhaps. Wow, Boots of Travel already completed. It's going to TP back and refill before this 10-minute rune spawns. It's a very early Boots of Travel for the Ember. Searing Chains come out and Amatsu's starting to fall low. Did see a kill on Darkseer across the map. As the shield rune spawns top and Mr. Ink in more than enough position to take that one. Meanwhile, down bottom, the second kill. Thinking about it. Nice Frog. Armlet toggles his way back up. Oh! That's awkward. Courier just delivered it in time, too. But he toggles it off. Oh, no. 170 seconds, no ult, and that's pretty significant. I have to say, that is pretty significant. Let me go ahead and take a look at what happened there. As you can see the kill comes through, and the courier flying in from the left side of the screen just delivers the armlet in time, and then he toggles it off just in the nick of time to pop that ult for him. And yeah, Wraith King, it's not like the Wraith King of old. The ult cooldown is very long. I mean, it's always been long level 1, but throughout the game, you never want to burn this early if you don't have to. Holy bounty runes. Porlison at 11 minutes picks up 3 bounties. Again, they're going to be going on to Rare Talent. Giant Rat doing what he can with the Surge, but this time going to be in some trouble of his own. Vacuum able to cancel out that CM ulti, but underneath the tower, one more Frostbite. Gonna end up taking him down, and Nice Frog looking for more. The second crit comes through. Up on the top side, Courier 6 in space teamed up to dive the tower. Even forced the TP from Amatsu. Still able to take down the Juggernaut and maybe look for some more kills. Murren is here though, and the cast gonna be bouncing back and forth. Actually bounces to the creep wave still. Space starting to fall low, and Courier 6 gonna go down straight away. Maledict isn't gonna have enough damage. We'll follow this one back to the base. See if doesn't have enough 100 HP, down to 50, but will survive through it. Still, Mr. Ink is loving life this game. Grabs the Invis rune at 12 minutes. See if he decides to make a play happen with this one. They'll have all the remnants, about half mana to work with as well. As he makes his way down towards the bot half. 11-7 here, 12.5 minutes in. It looks like we might have more of a party on our hands. Just outside of the tower range, Mr. Ink. He's trying to set up the kill. Orlison finally able to make the rotation over, and with the Frostbite combined with the Searing Chains, Mr. Ink, well, he's looking for it, has the remnants, but careful with the mana. Oh, he does have enough damage to snipe that kill. Searing, Sleight of Fist, excuse me. Providing the damage. He'll take that one. Bounty Rune spawns to give him some extra bottle charges as well. Amatsu wants in, but it's pretty high HP. 750 to work with instead. Gonna snipe off Porlison. CM not so lucky. Doesn't have that same HP to work with, so. One more track kill going Amatsu's way. 2-1 and 2, and has surpassed Ember in terms of the net worth, but the track gold providing a significant portion of that, as well as the Janata steals. Still, Bounty, similar to an Alchemist in the regard of, if you're not ahead, you really are behind because you have all these extra gold sources built into your kit, and you pay for that with a little bit of lack of utility. So Amatsu is where he wants to be, but again, I have to be careful to be playing from ahead lest you find yourself playing significantly behind. Oh, up top, double lift again, getting dove underneath the tower. Omni Slash available with the wand. He's going to try and get it off in space. It's going to bounce over to Porlison. The bonus armor during that old form makes Porlison a tanky Crystal Maiden, able to find the kill. Yet again, double lift does go down underneath this top tower as well. This time, Rune going to be snatched by Amatsu, and kill goes their way. That's a pretty big deal there. So Mr. Ink goes down. Needs a nice chunk of change over their way, MSU. 13-9, still down 4,000 in the net worth department, but just like game number 1, starting to swing things back their way. Now the lanes have started to break down a little bit. Still, Giant Rat gonna be a bit harder for him to recover this game. He's back to Ancient Thing at the same stage of the game as game number 1. And we did see him make a nice recovery game 1, but playing the Sand King, a little bit easier to have direct impact. Get a Blink Dagger and pretty much just go to work. This time on the Dark Seer, gonna need to do a little bit more legwork. Matsu Orchid completed here. Gonna find it onto Mr. Ink. Nope, able to get the Remnant away. Missile coming through on the backside. Mr. Ink, one last Remnant to work with. Missile will eventually connect, and Matsu thinking about chasing forward, but a little bit out of his range. Underneath the Sentry Ward, so needs to be careful here, Amatsu. Finds the track out onto space, but caught by the Corrosive Haze. Shuriken bouncing through, but like I said, needs to be really careful. Heroes are turning up here. The call down gonna be dropped to try and save his life, but will end up going down. And now Murren full retreat is Rare telling. He'll be able to make the run away, but Murren in a lot more trouble. Caught by the Searing Chains and will be brought down. Double kill for space. Amatsu not quite respecting the potential for Sentry Wards, and ooh, Nice Frog finds the solo kill onto double lift. Underneath the tier 2 tower, Desolator just picked up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gives him plenty of damage to find that kill along with the armlet.
Radiant's middle tower
DD snatched up by Giant Rat, but for now,
top tower is under attack.
just going to be used to farm. So Matsu gonna go back to hunting and gonna hope that his second try with the Orchid gonna work out better than the first. Is pretty desperate for this Orchid to work out, find a kill onto someone. He's going straight back to the poison well. This time finds the Orchid out onto space, looking to chase for it, but not enough damage to take him down solo. Surge comes through, but Amatsu gonna need to use it to run away. He was dusted up again, double up in the bot. He TP'd back down here, but Mr. Ink was ready. Another kill goes their way, and Jug not having such a good time as across the map elsewhere. Amatsu will be finding Porlison perhaps this time, as he will go down. The rest of the team making the rotation through space. Thinking about looking for the angle in, but gonna be forced to stay away. No remnants to work with for Mr. Ink either, means that UCSD will be held back here. Nice Frog wants in. That's a hefty crit coming down to the wall. Gonna catch him out for now, as well as the Orchid. Eventually, the Sleight of Fist comes through. Mr. Ink takes down the kill onto Amatsu. 17.5 minutes in now, 18-10, and the 8k net worth lead for UCSD. So they have planted themselves firmly in control of this game, and Nice Frog still has the Reincar to work with, still continuing to go to work, continuing to find his farm. Blink Dagger picked up as well, so Wraith King gonna be a scary force in this game. In the mid, looks like, yeah, UCSD gathering up for the smoke. Brought that one from the fountain. Regen Rune picked up by Mr. Ink as well, and they'll continue forward. Gonna pop onto Rare Talon here. It's a pretty quick kill. Space showing off that Blink Dagger as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
UCSD, they don't seem too happy about losing game number 1, and game 2 they've showed up with force. Tier 2 tower under some early pressure here. Skeleton summoned from Nice Frog to force out the glyph. But UCSD thinking about sticking around here. Mr. Ink uses the Remnant to come back as well. With the next wave, they are going to try and make a play underneath this tower as well. Matsu, blink forward from space. They find the crush, but Matsu forced forward back underneath the tower. Still, the go is on, and Reincarnation going to be burned, but all that for a drop of blood. Nice Frog, he's going to try and charge forward, vacuum back into the wall, but who's really fighting who here? 3 heroes going to go down, making it look easy. UCSD. Seemingly no pressure at all, as Nice Frog able to tank all of the spells just for that first life, and as soon as he pops out from the Reincarnation, full HP to work with and his team to back him up on the backside.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Looking for the TP, double lift, the spin, there's no bash, it wasn't primed. Space slaps the range creep in frustration. That 4th hit, all he needed to find yet another kill. Onto double lift. Double lift really struggling this game. 7,500 net worth here. Puts him nearly 5,000, or yeah, 5,000 plus actually behind the Wraith King. He's just topped over 13,000 in the net worth department. Maelstrom and about halfway to the Manta. It's all that he's able to complete so far in this game, and his map will continue to be squeezed. So it looks like UCSD want to head down towards the Roche pit, have the Daedalus, have the Desolator to work with, as well as the double damage rune coming in for Mr. Ink. The amp damage from Slaughter means that Roshan not too happy. So he'll get clicked down pretty quickly. Aegis into the hands of Mr. Ink, who has Mage Slayer, Maelstrom, and the Boots of Travel on top of this fresh Aegis of the Immortal. Looks like 21 minutes, and UCSD going to be able to snatch themselves up a Wisdom Rune as well. Not sure if Space actually managed to see that one or not. Mr. Ink did make the TP back to grab his own. Continuing to find the farm here on the Ember Spirit as well. Other side of the map, the rest of his team working on taking the Tormentor, and they'll snatch that one away from MSU. And they'll get a free shard on probably the best hero they could ask for, the Grimstroke. Having the Inkswell upgrade, had the shard queued up. Make sure he didn't have one on his courier, as he did not. I've seen that one happen before. You get the shard out on your courier, and unfortunately, just have to sell it back for half the gold value. MSU grouping up in the mid lane. And with the reincarnation back off cooldown, Nice Frog. Gonna be ready to start clicking down some towers. Assault Cuirass being worked on and nearly completed as well. We're just 22 minutes into this game, and healthy 6-0 and 5 to go with a couple of hundred CS means that Nice Frog is feeling flush in the gold department. I was thinking about just heading up towards the tier 3. 22 minutes. It's early for this kind of push, but at the same time, feels like UCSD are all but unstoppable this game. 2 lives on both cores. They're using a hit up into the base, and so hard to find any contest here. Nice Frog takes down the tier 3. Racks are exposed in the mid lane. They're gonna find the kill onto Amatsu. He'll just go down straight away the vacuum. Gonna miss, dragging him back all into the wall. Space, meanwhile, takes the jump underneath the tier 4 towers. Finds the freebie onto Witch Doctor. Bouncing around now, Double Up finally did make the TP back. The Maledict starting to do some work, but not able to find any kills. 14,000 in the gold department, about to be a Rax advantage for UCSD as well. So they're not done. They're gonna head straight up to the top side. Age is still in hand. Reincarnation still available. So the tank is still pretty full. Assault Cuirass was delivered, was completed in the meantime. For Nice Frog, so armor aura, and maybe more importantly, the minus armor being applied to the tower, not just from the Desolator, means that these buildings fall super quickly. Mr. Ink perhaps caught out a bit, but in the backside, Nice Frog starting to cleave down. Sure, your Aegis goes down. Well, maybe your Reincar is going to go as well. Well, look at Amatsu's HP. Falls so quickly. Omni Slash, this game not having that same RNG. This time bouncing straight back to the creeps. And talked about how that makes a difference. Well, you can see it here. 4 heroes go down. Wouldn't be surprised to see the G's get called here. 24 minutes in, but this game certainly feeling over as UCSD, well, they lost the first one in 60 minutes. They're going to win the second one in 20-something minutes as Space outside the well finds another. Why not? One for the road, right? Mega's going to be collected here. MSU looks like they're saving up for one last ditch fight, but even if they find all 5 here, just feels like it's too early for their draft to deal with Megas. It's really only Jug, as the Ion Shell doesn't do enough damage this stage of the game. Bounty definitely can't deal, and Nice Frog gonna jump in underneath the tier 4, starting to tank up some damage, and Mr. Ink as well falling low, still able to collect that 1 kill before the rest of the team forced to retreat. Amatsu yet again in the grave, and Porlisand able to survive the Maledict. GG, yeah, gonna be called. Finally does come through as MSU recognizing that this game is over, and has been over for a couple of minutes at this point. So we will be headed to a Game 3, our first Game 3 of the weekend. Gonna be coming through, and always rooting for some bonus Dota, but this one feels like it was over before it even began. We had a fight about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes maybe? And after that, UCSD just steamrolled through the entire game. Felt like, excuse me, the polar opposite of game number 1. So, kind of entire role reversal there through that game, but we'll get to see these teams duke it out in a game number 3, which is always exciting. I'd have to look at how the game 3s were shaping up. I remember in the East, we were missing game 3s through week 1, where every game did end up going just to 2 games. But not too sure if a similar thing's happened in the West, and I think that's actually not the case. I don't want to say a majority of games going to 3, and might have to walk that back immediately. Week 2, this is going to be our only game 3 across the league. That would be round 2. And week 1, we did have a pair of matches go to game 3, so half in the West and none in the East. So yeah, I'll go back to the well of, it will be one of the rare game 3s coming out in these best of 3 matches, week number 2. UCSD versus MSU. Stick around, we're going to throw it to a quick break while we get the lobby set up for game 3, but imagine this one will be back a couple minutes sooner than before. So we'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
That's what makes it right. It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the feeling, but it's a roller coaster in my head. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, or nothing at all. Hold these doubts like the playing cards close to my chest. Turn them round for the river and hope it's something that I won't regret. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. It's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, or nothing at all. Should've known better than to trust in love. It's like this whole world keeps on messing it up. Yeah. I thought that I could do better if I just believed. Yeah. I'm thinking back to when you were in the sweater, the lost in love. It's like this whole world keeps on messing it up. Yeah. I thought that I could do better if I just believed. Yeah. I'm thinking back to when you were in the sweater that you got from me. Oh, now it's so complicated. Why is this suffocating me? I felt elevated when you used to lay with me.
I wanna be your alien queen. We can ride to the moon in your space machine. You get me in the mood. It feels so fucking good. Just what my body needs. You should know that I don't mind if you wanna love me all my life. I wanna be your alien queen. We can ride to the moon in your space machine. You get me in the mood. It feels so fucking good. Just what my body needs. You should know that I don't mind if you wanna love me all my life. You should know that I don't mind if you wanna love me all my life. You should know that I don't mind if you wanna love me all my life. Should know that I don't mind if you wanna love me till I die.
All right, sorry about the little bit of a delay. You can see we've got the draft underway. The first picks have come through. A little bit of technical difficulties getting everything working, but seems like we should be good to go now. So do let me know if there's any problems, but I'm not anticipating any problems coming through. And yeah, that'll be it. Just remember that I'm about 5 minutes behind. So if you do see a problem, point it out, and do know that I'll be working to fix it behind the scenes a little bit. But should be all good to go. Should be into the draft. Game number 3 coming through, Mississippi State versus UCSD. Super excited for a game 3. I get amped for bonus Dota. And here's hoping we get another long game. No, I don't think I can root for that exactly, but at least a more competitive game coming into game 3. MSU and UCSD. Game number 1, I mean, game 1 was ridiculously fun. Game 2, a little bit more of a snooze fest, but UCSD kind of showing why they didn't lose a match last season. I was talking about before this series that they were going to be the favorites, and definitely showing in game 2 why they were the favorites. MSU taking an hour to win their game, and UCSD taking just about 20 minutes. And some snap picks coming out from UCSD here. First pick on Oracle, Porlison. This is one of his favorite heroes to play. See a lot of him on Oracle when it's good, when it's bad, and when it's somewhere in between. So, going to be a comfortable matchup for him. And then going straight for the Faceless Void Phoenix. Faceless Void Phoenix. Just setting up for, you know, big strong team fight. Phoenix, we've been seeing a lot of in Nace, and for good reason. Supernova very strong, Sunray very strong, annoying to deal with in lane. Faceless Void, one of the premier safe laners right now, just because you match up well into pretty much any offlane hero they can throw at you, and you do provide an enormous amount of team fight and tons of damage later on into the game. MSU going back to the Juggernaut for the 3rd time in this best of 3 series. Did look good for him in game number 1. Game 2, we did see a couple of Omni Slashes bounce the wrong way, and like I was saying in game 1, the Omni Slash bounce into creeps can be the difference between a won game and a lost game. It can be as simple as that. 1 or 2 Omnis bounce the wrong way and you miss out on a couple of kills. Maybe you get killed because of it, and it just turns your entire game on its head. UCSD countering with the Slardar, and it's one way to deal with the Jug. You got a bash, so there's no spin TP available necessarily, and we see that across the lanes. Faceless Void gonna have it as well as the Slardar. So definitely not the strongest Jug pickup, especially after seeing that 4th pick Slardar come out from UCSD. Because really one of the advantages Jug has, and one of the reasons that this hero sees so much play, or at least saw so much play back in the day, is because you do have the option to split push very aggressively on Jug, as long as you have spin TP available. Well, that edge is going to be removed entirely from UCSD, as aside from the supports, everyone else is going to be able to jump onto Jug and lock him down regardless of whether he's immune to magic or not. Which is a pretty scary proposition, this Jug. Even though, like, I mean, nowadays spin, it almost feels like spin shouldn't stop you from being able to cast other spells. It's kind of one of those remnants of the past that you couldn't cast during the spin. Couldn't use it to get into the Omni Slash. Just feels a little bit strange nowadays. And it would make the hero feel a lot more well-rounded, and probably would be deserved if you could use spin to run in and cast a spell like Swift Slash or a spell like Omni Slash. And I don't think that would be too busted. It's still fitting with how the hero wants to play.
10 seconds.
So I think that would be kind of a reasonable compromise to stop this hero from being so reliant on using spin as like a spin TP mechanism. But like I was saying, it's going to be a struggle for Jug to play this game. I really do think so. Sure, he's got the attack speed to deal with Phoenix, but aside from hitting the Supernova, you're not too happy to hit into either Faceless Void or Slardar. With the Oracle behind, the False Promise is going to be able to stop any potential solo Omni Slash kills. Pretty much dead in their tracks. Meanwhile, Faceless Void's going to have free reign to jump in Chronosphere onto these supports, Chronosphere onto the Juggernaut, and anytime Jug's caught in the Chronosphere, he's certainly dead.
Radiant team pick.
So I'm starting to feel a little bit worried about MSU's draft. Now, they do have decently well-rounded supports, and with the Soulbind, find some kind of Soulbind Cask. Soulbind Gush is always a pretty strong combo that can come out.
10 seconds remaining.
But lacking that little extra bit of oomph, I think, from MSU, and they're going to have a lot of problems to solve with their last pick coming out from their mid lane. Across the river, UCSD looking for a mid laner as well. We see 4 of them banned out, 3 of them being strength heroes. See what they're expecting to pick up here. Ember Spirit this time taken out of the pool, but A lot of ways they can decide to play this game. Storm Spirit is an option for them, as well as the Puck. I think Puck probably is the right call for them. You can find the back lines. You have Silence, Dream Coil in the late game onto Juggernaut when you get the talent at 25 to snap the coil even during the magic immunity. Very annoying to deal with, and it's a slippery hero where the supports on Mississippi State have projectile stuns and silence, so nothing instant coming out. Same with Ravage, to be honest. You can dodge it with the phase shift, given a good enough reaction time, so I think it feels like a strong pickup here. Instead, they will go with the Storm. Similar idea, Magic Burst, jump on, find the back lines. We'll need to be going for some kind of defensive item this game, or, you know, overwhelming firepower to make sure that you're taking down Grim and not getting silenced on the back, but pretty natural game to go BKB. Just want to make sure you don't get anchored by Tide. I think that's going to be one of the bigger concerns. Is if Tide's able to pick up the shard and find anchors onto Storm, you could have a bit of a problem. Last pick, Arc Warden coming out from MSU, so hero that seems to have been ignored in the draft, maybe by mistake. Murren going to be handling this one. And don't be surprised, this is a little bit of a role reversal. Murren's not going to be taking it as a support. Instead of Matsu on the Witch Doctor will be handling the support, and Murren just the Arc Warden specialist on the team. We've seen this last season as well. I believe he picked up a Meepo last season, and they did a similar thing where they ran Murren on the Meepo into the mid lane. I'd have to dig back through my replays to double check on that one, but I believe it was something similar to that, where we've seen this MSU squad run out their typical lineup, but they have a couple of flex heroes where if you pick this hero, we're going to have Murren take it into the mid lane or take it in as a carry, depending on what the situation is calling for. In this case, Arc Warden going to be in the mid, has a decent matchup against the Storm Spirit, and into the game as well. I mean, it's not the easiest hero to play. You're going to have the backline Find from Faceless Void, Slarder, and Storm all going to be hunting this Arc Warden, but kind of opens the door to whether you're spread a little too thin with these three jump heroes. Do you want to all jump the same person? Do you want to jump different heroes across the map? What are you really looking to accomplish? Because if all your heroes jump onto the front line, you do leave your backline supports far away from the fight and exposed. And Orlisson, especially on the Oracle, gonna struggle, if that's the case, to stay involved in these fights. Now, he is quite good at his positioning, and would expect him to get a Blink Dagger later on into this game, but just something to consider as the game does progress. But game number 3 is getting underway as the heroes will make their way out of the fountain and into the game. Seems as though in game 3, same as the first couple, gonna see no early smoke, no early group up, and team's gonna be pretty content to just find a pair of runes apiece.
This is a good
Courier 6 blocking off the camp again.
I'm very proud of you. You can't improve.
Seen him do this a couple of times. Hard camp gonna be blocked off as well, and the Obs ward gonna be just in range. Is that in range? Oh, it's so hard to tell. I think it's just in range. But that is so hard to tell. A little bit of luck declining coming through.
I want to die.
Mr. Ink wants to win this game on his skill alone. As the horn sounds, we get ready to get into this game number 3 decider match. MSU versus UCSD. Toe-to-toe for the runes, and looks like they will end up 2 for 2 with the cast bouncing around. Giant Rat starting to feel the pain, starting to be in a little bit of trouble here. One more right click from space, not going to be needed as Mr. Ink finds the first blood, so Mid-Storm going to be pretty happy to secure the first kill of the game. Pays only a couple hundred points of HP for the cost of that kill, and going to be more than halfway up to his bottle now. I feel like I talk about it every game, but I'd be remiss not to mention that Arc Warden is still in such a weird place in mid. with the spells doing different amounts of damage and different amounts of, like, not quite having different effects, but having basically different effects, whether you're on Radiant or Dire, and then vice versa for the clone. Such an awkward position for the hero to be in, and keep expecting this change to get reverted, but it seems to escape the... I wouldn't even call it a nerf hammer, but the change hammer, like, every time. It's kind of insane. I feel like it's not the way that we're used to seeing Dota heroes go, having different different presences on Radiant versus Dire. It's not the old days. It's not 15 years ago when the game came out and you had to pick good guys on Radiant, bad guys on Dire. Taking a look down to the bot side. Nice Frog's done a nice job. Game 1 and Game 2. Coming away with lots of extra farm against Giant Rat. Now this Game 3, Giant Rat, given the tide, should have a pretty happy time down here. I mean, he should be able to find his farm. Should be pretty stable. Now, on the flip side, Nice Frog will also be able to be farming away pretty happily, but I think, considering how the lanes went Game 1 and Game 2, Giant Rat gonna be given a bit of an easier time down here, try and keep the lane a little bit more even. A bit more low risk, low reward instead of some of the higher risk, high reward gameplay that came out in the first couple of games. See the bottles come out into the mid lane, so the little edge that was carved out before by Murren led to a couple of extra CS, as we see, 14-3 versus the 8-for-1, but Mr. Ink gonna be working on closing that gap in the upcoming couple minutes. He should be able to do so as well. So the hard pull got off, but double lift. Tend to farm it up here. Always funny to watch supports with the long attack animation. They have such low attack speed as is. But Courier 6 using those fire spirits, making sure that he wins the harass battle. Spin gonna come through. Cast gonna bounce around. Maledict as well dropped over. Is the damage gonna be there for space? The Fairy Fire actually consumed. And with the Tango, gonna keep himself healthy, so... Not dying up here to the same lane matchup, actually, that they had last game, so... This time able to survive nicely. Not giving up a handful of kills. Amatsu potentially in some trouble, but able to juke out. Courier 6. Looking for the trades himself. Has a cask to work with. Still Lotus for Courier 6, gonna keep him plenty healthy. Portlason was actually able to claim a kill elsewhere. Not gonna show you that one as Courier 6 getting run down. Has already eaten the Lotus, actually. Swapped in the Salve. Gonna be able to TP back to the tower and totally fine. But Portlason hit level 3, so extra damage on Purifying Flames means that Rare Talent was able to be run down. Two to 0, early going, 4.5 minutes into the game. As I mentioned before, Mr. Ink taking some damage, but having a much nicer time in the first couple minutes into this lane. See what he decides to do here. A little bit low, needs to be careful as one more combo from Murren, full HP, means Mr. Ink's gonna have to play pretty cautiously. Have expected him to walk back to base there, but for now just gonna be held outside of range, and now walks forward, but still caught by the Spark Wraith. Trouble going down here. Murren looking for the last click. Has it without the Wraith even connecting. Nice freebie for him there as Mr. Ink just showing in lane a little bit too aggressive. Too low HP to contest there. So up top things coming out, but just for side pull. Down bottom actually, Rare Talent falling low. Orlison not going to commit forward for that kill though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So 6 minutes coming up quick. Looks like support's going to be stationary across the top and bot lanes, so see who does manage to secure this 6-minute power rune. It's going to spawn bot. Murren going to lose the 50-50, and Mr. Ink late to the rune, but not going to matter. He's going to find a regen rune for his trouble. He's going to be pretty happy as well because he's about a full level behind, so very necessary. Needs to kill a creep here. Oh no, don't tell me he dies before he gets it off. The regen rune, not enough in the creep. It doesn't die in time. No vortex. Sorry, no ball lightning able to zip away. 2 kills from her and able to make good use of the clone. Lays some extra spark rates down. Damage onto the tower as well. The Midas coming out quick. Switch over to net worth already, and yeah, 3,600 net worth here, 6.5 minutes for the Arc Warden. Things looking good indeed for him. 2-2, but the value kill is definitely coming out for MSU. Wisdom runes collected. Courier 6 grabs 1 rare talent on the other side. Gonna snag the other. I'll make their way back up to the lane space. They were trying for the kill on him up top, MSU, but Guardian sprint enough to get him back underneath the tower, and Space had the salve delivered as well. Knew this was coming.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Saw this lane in game number 1, and in game number 2. Realized might need a little bit more regen.
Radiant's middle tower
We
is under attack.
go into game number 3. Didn't want to lose the lane like last time. Mr. Ink was trying with the rotation down towards bottom, but instead just gonna use the bottle, grab those bounty runes, farm a camp on the way. Still Murren, level 8.5. 8-minute rune gonna spawn. Courier 6 making the rotation, and again he loses the 50-50. Murren's got to be cursing his luck as 2 power runes going against him, but Midas being delivered. Just needs to make sure not to spawn that Tempest double before the Midas gets delivered, but he knows what he's doing. So an 8.5-minute Midas comes out for the Arc Warden. Top net worth in the game. He's going to continue to accelerate his farm. Space, the crush. Prevent any spin coming out from double lift. And level 6 means the Corrosive Haze gonna slow any aggression. Maybe not halt it, but slows the aggression coming out from MSU. Take a look down bottom as Nice Frog has hit the level 6, so Chronosphere is available, but against the Tide Hunter, no real threat. Instead, gonna be working towards the Mask of Madness, continuing to farm the lane, continuing to farm that side jungle as well. See Forlison in from the gate, made his way up top. Double Lift in some trouble, just level 5 to crush. It's gonna be off the mark. Omni Slash is just available, but no mana to commit it. Instead, the TP in from the clone Murren, trying to hunt down Space, using the raids. Gonna drop the Midas down and not gonna be able to find the kill there. Instead, Rare Talent did find the kill onto Forlison behind the tower as just stuck a little bit far out of position. Go underneath the tower for the kill, not gonna find it, and someone's gonna have to pay the price. That's gonna be the Oracle. Murren this time able to find the haste rune, bottles it up for himself. Continuing to farm very efficiently as Mr. Ink forced into a Midas of his own, trying to keep pace. And jungling off to the side. Interesting approach to this game. Not too often we see Storm go for a recovery Midas. Generally opt to play a little bit more active of a game. Try and come in through counter rotations, but recognizing that Tide, not too easy to kill, even with the Faceless Void, even with the Chrono. Not really going to make the rotations down to here,
Radiant's
and
bottom tower is
up on the
under
top side as well. Jug not too easy to gank.
Radiant structures are
Instead, already back into the jungle, mirroring faceless movements on the other side as Giant Rat
Radiant's bottom tower is under
using that anchor smash. Start pushing out the wave, get some tower damage through.
Dire's
Gonna be looking for the Vlads early. I imagine the Mage Slayer gonna be on deck for him afterwards. It's the route that we have been seeing. Now the zip forward, Mr. Ink gonna find the Vortex, and the Chronosphere gonna be dropped. Nice Frog finds the one kill. Giant Rat maybe left a little bit of a Ravage is available and is gonna pop it just before he goes down. They're gonna find Faceless. Murren in on the rotation. The False Promise gonna be dropped off, but somehow Tide gets out. Murren hunting forward, looking for the kills, dropping the Spark Rate. Spoilerson able to dodge off that magic damage and keeps himself healthy. Ends up being a 1-for-1, not going to be worthwhile for UCSD as they're going to lose Faceless. Even committing the Chrono for that one.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As Murren really has just been in the perfect position to counter these rotations from UCSD. Oh, he's able to come in with the TP. It's pre-Boots of Travel, but comes in with the TP scroll, excuse me, and makes value out of these enemy rotations. So not only wasting their time, but 3-0-0, able to find kills off the back of them as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Supernova was dropped down, looks like just used to escape any potential Maledict burn. Underneath the tower, double lift being hunted. They know Murren doesn't have a TP, but too far behind the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tower trade efforts continue as the bot tower does go down. Giant Rat took that one as the full Vlads
Top tower is under
just about ready to come out, but towers will be traded off in the meantime.
fallen.
I'll take that.
So here, 13 minutes in, just 4-3 MSU. Starting to edge it out a little bit, 2,000 net worth lead, and absolutely all of that onto the Arc Warden. So we do see Double Lift struggling just a little bit to keep up in the farm department, though nearly done with the Maelstrom, and that will help him accelerate his own farm. Not the easiest lane against the Slardar. And keeping pace nicely with the Faceless Void, so he's working on his own Maelstrom now that the Mask of Madness is completed. But these carries not having the best of times. Still, it is Space who, despite making the lane not so fun for Jug, starting to sacrifice his own farm a little bit, going towards the Mage Slayer as well, so not the easiest to have direct impact with that item alone. Kind of need +1 to get in there, whether it be something like an Echo Sage or more likely a Blink Dagger. One-man smoke coming through from Amatsu. Did pick up that level 6. Coconut gonna bounce off the range creep. Oh, and it bounces back onto Space. Omni Slash gonna be committed as well, and bounces back over to a Maledict. Would have ticked him out regardless. Very nice cast bounce there from Amatsu, as the extra one really does secure the kill for him. Taking a look back in at Arc Warden, as ended up farming up the Maelstrom, had the Boots of Travel queued up, but finished off the Lightning Hammer instead. Looks like he will be working towards a Gleipnir as well, so it's going to be his way of taking down the Storm Spirit. The other option he has there is early Orchid into a Bloodthorn a bit later, which perhaps we will still see. Be interested in that one, as works against the Faceless Void, works against the Storm Spirit as well, so not out of the question for him to pick up the Orchid, as Bloodthorn would be a very nice pickup in this game.
Stupendous.
Giant Rat looks like he wants the Blink Dagger instead, so Seen a lot of Mage Slayer Tide, just essentially you play like you're a big threat, you get to walk in front of everybody, and you're the tanky Tide that no one can kill, you make some space, you walk in to start fights, you break smokes. Giant Rat, his idea, he's going to play a little bit more like the Tide of old. He's going to look for the Blink Ravage, look for the initiation. Kick off fights that his Arc Warden can continue to turret from the backside. But for now, all is quiet on the map. 5 to 3, Mr. Ink caught in the river. Pretty low mana shield rune, gonna be popped straight away, and False Promise was dropped on top of him as well, so Matsu instead gonna pay the price for Maledict. Not putting in any work here as the regen is coming through, but maybe enough damage actually being praised over Murren. Caught out in the river. And the extra bash over the top space. Yeah, Murren kind of walked up and for a moment had me thinking it was just the clone because he was playing with essentially no regard for his own life. Just kind of walks up and gets clicked down. So nice save on the backside, and yeah, Murren just walks up, really wants this kill. The Storm can't be allowed to have this. Well, the river's the one place you don't want to be fighting against Lardar. It just runs through and cleans him up. Ravage in the mid lane, trying to defend this tier 1 in the mid. Space though, plenty healthy to start diving even under influence of that Maledict and Amatsu. Nice coconut, gonna catch a little bit onto everybody. Mr. Ink jumps forward, looking for the kill. He will find it, but Murren puts the raids down, not able to catch on to the Storm Spirit. Giant Rat showing off that Blink Dagger as Courier 6. Maelstrom eventually able to find him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And the tower does go down.
Middle tower has fallen.
So MSU bouncing back a little bit off the back of that fight. Murren with the TP in, showing that one bad fight not going to ruin his game. Mr. Ink zips forward, finds the Arcane Rune with the Vortex back, looking for Murren, but Murren going to turn and decide to fight this one. Mr. Ink starting to fall low, and Murren able to find the kill. Gets zapped down by Portals, and inside of the Chronosphere was dropped down. And nice proc. Now turning his attention towards Giant Rat, but such a hard kill to try and take down the Omni Slash. Bouncing through it, the entire team here, and Space eventually going to go down as well. So the 3 cores for UCSD all go down, and Courier 6 up on the high ground accidentally with the Sunray. Going to drop the Supernova, but to no avail. One more click if you can find it. Will come through. Portland ends up with 3. But 4 kills MSU's way, as they will win the brawl in the mid lane. Guys, it's not mid-only Dota. There's side lanes to play in. Still, at the end of it all, UCSD is catching up nicely. Mr. Ink stayed competitively farmed, looking for double lift. Vortex a little bit late there. But with the Midas, doesn't feel like he's fighting from behind. He's actually able to jump in and do considerable damage in these fights. And he's actually just about caught up to Murren in terms of the farm. 6-2 is a little bit less happy than you might expect. Still up there at top of the net worth, don't get me wrong, but gone is the 2,000 to 3,000 gold advantage that he was holding on to some 10 minutes earlier in this game. Still, he's yet to find his power spike in terms of fighting against the Storm Spirit. That will be out with the Gleipnir. Sun comes through, Mr. Ink out. Now going to be caught by the Anchor. Ravage dropped on top, as well as the Inkswell. So Storm going to be stunned up forever. One last swing of the Anchor Smash will take him down, and Porlison in some trouble of his own. Hunted down, clicked down, and Murren ends up zapping him with the lightning. Up in the top, double lift has the Omni Slash to work with, so Space, well, he was trying to protect his carry instead. I suppose he does protect his carry, but not gonna find the kill. It goes down for his troubles. Chronosphere. Just a few seconds too late coming up there to find the return kill. We're in level 16 and a half now, 16 and 3/4.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And gonna have the Gleipnir when his courier can bring it out to him, so now is gonna be go time for the Arc Warden. Gonna be able to find the lockdown onto Faces, find the lockdown onto Storm Spirit. Be interested to find out what his next item that he wants to queue up is. And looks like it's gonna be the Dragon Lance. Still interested if he does go back for the Orchid, but as time goes, it becomes less and less likely that he moves into the Orchid. Much better item the earlier you can get it. UCSD feeling themselves on the back foot, down about 5,000 in the net worth department. Gonna smoke up as 4. Looks like it might have been spotted out by MSU underneath that obs ward. It's gonna time out. Still looking for the wraparound, and it's gonna be Giant Rat in position to break this smoke. No, he's farming the camp. Slightly out of range. Courier 6 is gonna break onto Giant Rat now. MSU will stay away. So yeah, Giant Rat working towards the Aghanim Scepter as well, so no Mage Slayer required, and it looks like they are gonna be Mage Slayerless as a team. Which against Storm Spirit and even Faceless Void to some extent is somewhat surprising. Mage Slayer is reasonably good even against just 1 magic damage enemy hero, so maybe an oversight or not sure. Space. Looks like they both got stunned by the Ogre Smash. We're gonna have to take a look at that one. That's pretty funny. That is pretty freaking funny. Giant Rat blinks in and gets the anchor down before they both get smashed up by the Ogre Stun, which lasts so long. Don't even need to commit any spells. See if we can't take a look back at that one. I think we're gonna be a couple of seconds early here, but oh no, just right on time. Smashed up by the Ogre. How funny is that?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Those ogres stunned for so long. It's not even funny.
Radiant structures of Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tier 2 tower in the bot gonna go down. MSU gonna claim this one without contest as UCSD. They've seen that the Gleipnir came through. Not wanting to get too involved here. Trying to put some pressure onto this top tier 2 of their own, but MSU will be able to defend this one if they are so inclined, having taken the tier 2 in the bot lane for themselves already.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Mr. Ink, Charisma completed. Gonna work towards a BKB quickly for himself, realizing he needs that defensive item to fight into Arc Warden. Gonna jump forward looking for Amatsu, but silenced up. Able to kill off the Spirit quickly and trying to zip away, but use most of his mana. Has the regen rune to work with, but having taken damage, he's regenning pretty slow. Under the influence of the Maledict as well, Courier 6 did go down over to the side. And Storm still being chased down. Mr. Ink using that battery, trying to find the regen. Trying to get away. He's absorbing the chase for so long, not able to get up to the high ground. No mana to TP either. Eventually, he will run out of rope. Giant Rat ends up being the one securing the kill, and I'd say space created, but UCSD not going to be able to do much with that space, so ends up being down to an 8k net worth lead for them, 17 to 11. And Murren, he's looking for more kills. This time Space gonna be caught out. Summoning the clone as well to make sure that they're gonna be able to have this kill. And Porlison, who's trying with the false promise, Anchor gonna be dropped out. Ravage as well blown. The Porlison goes down, but Space got the blink off in time, able to get away, and the false promise heals him back up to full. So Ravage committed, not going to be available for the next fight for MSU, but without Porlison for 30 seconds and without the false promise to fight under, UCSD not going to be interested at all in taking this fight. And halfway to that Aghanim Scepter for Amatsu. Double lift. Farming aggressively, but spin TP. Gonna save him against Mr. Ink. The one hero on their side not able to cancel that one off. Meanwhile, it looks like we're just waiting for BKBs to come out as, oh, Murren found the kill. Orchid freshly picked up. Did find that gold and brings the clone down. He'll find Mr. Ink. So MSU up 11k here, 27 minutes in, and they themselves finding themselves in the driver's seat for, I would say, just about the first time the entire series. I think this is the largest lead they've had over the course of all 3 games, besides maybe when they were taking the Ancient, the end of game number 1, but don't really count that one. But otherwise, game number 1, despite it being a 63-minute game, they were equal to behind for a vast majority of it. This time, planting themselves firmly in the lead as Murren, the hero to beat. As the net worth, well, at one time Mr. Ink was staying competitively farmed. All of a sudden, he's about 6,000 gold behind his counterpart, and a similar story for Faceless. Nice Frog, some 4,000 gold behind the Juggernaut.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still, if UCSD are able to drag this game out, they will have the superior late game advantage with the Chronospear. Always able to catch out the Jug, always able to take him down. But the problem for now is definitely going to be getting there, as the tier 2 in the top already under siege. Aghanim's picked up for double lift. Gonna work towards a butterfly, so seems as though this is the cookie cutter build for double lift. Maelstrom Manta into the Mjolnir plus the Ags.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Go ahead and snatch the Tormentor. Once again, gonna go Grimstroke's way. That free shard gonna be very helpful. Would have purchased it anyway, but always happy to have an extra 1,500 gold in his pocket. And things are feeling rough indeed for UCSD. They're gonna have to find some big kills, as nearly one of them Mr. Ink was hunting. Instead, second Tormentor gonna be taken over, and Blade Fury Shard is acquired for double lift off of that Tormentor. Bloodthorn now available for Murren. Looking for Courier 6, not going to find him, able to get the dive out of harm's way, but MSU, not too sure they're going to stop moving down this bot lane. Instead, might just look to hammer it through. The Aghanim Scepter will be coming out for Giant Rat as we speak, and double lift. 2.5 minutes on the Aegis. Looks like he's ready to go stand up on the high ground. For now, backdoor is in effect, but only for a few seconds longer as the creep wave makes its way over. Murren, happy to send the clone up. Pidasing, by the way, on the clone. Giant Rat actually snatched the entire wave before Murren could use the Midas on the clone, but I don't think he's going to be too unhappy about that one, as Tier 3 tower goes down, no contest. Second glyph going to come through, but double lift going to just continue whacking on these racks as backdoor kicks in for just a second, and the jump forward with the Swift Slash. Courier 6 so low, but able to jump away back to the fountain. Double lift spin was forced out, but the melee rack's gonna go down. Range racks as well look like they're in trouble and will fall. MSU will retreat without a scratch on them. All they lose for that is the tier 2 in the top, so UCSD, only split pressure they're able to apply is that tier 2 top. See if MSU can't make anything happen with the last minute of this Aegis. It looks like the answer might be no. Arc Warden has TP'd away. Sure, he's got the boots of travel to come back in, but want to be a little bit careful. Mr. Ink finds the jump forward. They will find the Grimstroke on the front side of the fight, but now the TP in from Murren comes on the backside. The egg dropped in a very nice position on top. Rabbit not going to be able to cancel that one out. The egg is going to explode. Buyback comes out from Portland as well. Nice front. Finds the Chrono on the back. That's on the 3, but doesn't find Murren. Murren trying to put the damage into the Chrono, but it's not coming through. Instead, nice front. Now caught up by the false promise. Rooted in place. Needs to make something happen. Needs to get more out of this fight, but instead it looks like he will be paying with his own life. Does go down. Ends up being a 3 for 4 with the buyback for Portland, with the dieback for Portland, I should say. But the 2 carries for MSU, the one surviving, means that they're going to be able to put damage onto the tower. And it started off so well for UCSD. They get the pick off. They find the egg in a great position up on the high ground, but 18,000 gold lead, it's too much for them to overcome. Mr. Ink looking on the back, but just going to be Bloodthorned up. No defensive item and taken down. Courier 6 as well. Second Bloodthorn going to be used and will be popping. Not quite, but the Swift Slash takes him down. So a couple more freebies. Mid rack's going to be claimed. Top racks next on the agenda. MSU not playing around with the tier 4s. They remember what happened in game number 1. Instead, going to head straight up top for the last lane. Double lift. Heading over and maybe wasting some time on that mid step. Murren gotta fight back against the buybacks now. Mr. Ink, well, he will find that 1 kill. Double lift with the trade out for now, and the Omni Slash gonna catch out onto the dieback. That's Mr. Ink going down straight away. Stunned up by the Inkswell, and the Omni Slash just takes him down. Great layering there from MSU, though. They do lose their Arc Warden. It's not gonna matter to them. UCSD just barely able to hold on to this last set of barracks. Gonna need all but a miracle to come back into this game, as MSU are looking to close it out in style. They'll wait for their Arc Warden to respawn, maybe even wait out that next Aegis. Play it safe. But not feeling a care in the world, as 8-0-6 for double lift. A huge difference to game number 2, where double lift really struggling. I think he was 1-5 at one point, just getting run down, spawning and getting run down. Well, taking this jug through 3 games, and we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And well, maybe we've seen the good, the better, and the ugly. I'm not sure. Game 2 is definitely the ugly. But MSU looking strong again this game number 3. Games 1 and Game 3 were played on US East server. Game 2 on US West, as these schools geographically not so close to each other, though the difference in some 80 to 120 ping should not be too tremendously different. Playing from the East Coast, I get something like 115 ping to the West Coast servers. So noticeably different, but shouldn't be such a tremendous difference between games 2 and game 3. So don't discount the performance from MSU here in game number 3. Heroes have spawned nighttime As MSU set up on this top half of the map, waiting out the Roshan spawn. It can spawn in 5 seconds. We'll see. The spawn, I think it's going to be a minute 22. 39 seconds. Alright. One day I'll predict it right. There's only 180 seconds, right? So every 200 games that you cast. I guess every 180 Roche spawns that you cast should have it, but... That means if you predict every time. If I predict every game going forward, about 1 in 100 games I should get the seconds right. I don't think I've ever gotten it entirely right, minutes and seconds, but I can hold out hope for myself. Roshan has spawned, but MSU, not necessarily anticipating the early spawn, have made their way up to the triangle area. Double Lift level 25 has acquired the Omni Slash duration. Murin the Tempest double duration as well. Both nice talents for them to have, their respective heroes. For now, we'll just follow the Tempest. There's not much else going on the map at the moment. Basically just waiting for MSU to notice that the Roche has spawned and make something happen from there. And looks like they have done now. Yeah, as Roche aggroed out of the pit, rare talent. The one to spot that out. Double Lift makes his way over. Doesn't need any help taking this Roche down. It's gonna shout, but definitely no contest coming through from UCSD. As all but pinned in their base. They'll just use the time to escape and farm a couple of extra waves. Aegis and Cheese for Mississippi State. 27,000 gold in the lead column. So we hit 38 minutes, tier 4 neutral items spawning up as well. But I can't imagine it's anything but go time for MSU. Gonna be ready to just push down top, take this last set of the barracks. Double lefties ready to go in, just walks up to the high ground. Uses the spin and he'll just get back for now. Gonna wait out that next spin duration. Double lift back up on the high ground. Drops the healing ward as well. But no need to be fancy with it. Instead, just gonna go for the barracks. Glyph on the backside. Mr. Ink was in, pops the BKB, but just takes so much damage. 75 seconds on the deck. Nice 3-man chrono comes through. Nice frog. Gonna try and do what work he can. Unfortunately, dealing with the Aegis on the double lift and not even able to take it down as he's still bouncing through in the Omni Slash on the backside. 3 kills for him. Nice frog, the only survivor. GG gonna be called. The 2-1 series win gonna go MSU's way as game 1 a real close one. 2 and 3 not so much, but not so much in different directions as UCSD stomped game 2 and MSU, well, they steamrolled through game number 3. So very well played for them, and definitely a great job not losing their cool after getting rolled in game number 2. They come back and just play a very strong game number 3. I think that is one of the hardest things in Dota, is coming back from a game where you really took, you took a shellacking. You got beat, and you got beat down pretty good. You got to take what you can out of that, but you got to wipe the slate clean. I mean, it's one of those things where, coming off the back of game 2, you have this really long game 1. Players are probably tired. People are, not in the best mental state. Get rolled game number 2. It's so easy to give up and fold and say, game 1, well, we were doing our best. It still took us an hour and a couple minutes. Game 2, that really showed who we are, and we're going to struggle in game 3. And instead, MSU come back and they say, no, that's not who we are. We, maybe did a little bit of unconventional picks. We ran this bounty hunter mid. It didn't accomplish what we wanted it to, and we're going to come back and show them what we're made of in game number 3. And they absolutely came out and executed that. So a great first win for them, as I was saying pre-game. This was their first series, even though we are in week number 2. Their week 1 match did get rescheduled for the 29th of February, so still waiting on that. So as a first match for MSU, a pretty great win for them. UCSD going to be kicking themselves a little bit. Lost their first series in the regular season across the entire 2023-2024 academic year. But just going to make them hungrier to come back next week and ready to take that next series win. And do expect to see them in the playoffs, or at least in the hunt for a playoff berth, as last season in particular, they were a very strong team. But even week number 1 against CPP, they did show what they're made of, show that they have a very nice team play, very nice coordinated idea of how to play Dota, and some pretty nice execution from their front as well. So expect to see a lot more of them. But that's all I have for you today. A great 3-game series, and I'll be ending it here. That was the end of week 2 as well, so don't have the updated week 2 standings just because of the couple of holdout games, but our first series on Wednesday night, we'll have the updated week 2 standings to share with you before we hop into that match. So do make sure you tune in Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We'll be handling one East Coast series and then one West Coast series back to back. Still kind of yet to figure those out, but tentatively we were looking at Toronto series in excuse me, not Toronto. We were looking at USF versus Brown tentatively in the 7 o'clock slot, and in the late slot potentially a University of Toronto versus UCLA matchup. But going to be a little bit in flux pending the reschedule, so I'll make sure to keep you informed. But no matter what, we will be having a match 7 p.m. on Wednesday, so tune in here, twitch.tv/CoolHandsDota for more NACE coverage coming up week number 3 of our 9-week season. It is a 7-week season with 9 rounds, so join us weeks 3 through 7 if you haven't been already. Do make sure to share it around, and we hope to see some more exciting games as we continue with the regular season next week. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.